How was your 4th of July? Panda's knocking stuff over. Hope y'all had a good 4th of July. I didn't do nothing. I'm a homebody. I stayed home. Although I did go. I've been cheating a lot lately on my diet, so I went out and bought some ice cream and hot fudge. And you can't have hot fudge without caramel on top too. What do you say, caramel or caramel? Caramel or caramel? How you say it? How you say it? I don't know. You can say it any way you want. Anyways, just crazy news day. Just a whole bunch of crazy stuff that's going on here nowadays, and it's just so confusing. It's so confusing, right? Something's going on, and I don't know what is it, and that's what, I'm one of these type of people. I like to know everything. I go out there and I do all my extra research because I like to know stuff. And well, who knows? Who knows what the hell's going on right now? And it's just crazy. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the Epstein files and the Epstein list. A couple months ago, Pam Bondi saying, "Oh yeah, I got the Epstein list right on my desk, right on my desk." But we're not going to say anything yet because we're going to look through it, and we want to protect those people. We want to protect the people that are on there. And I thought she was, we're going to protect the victims, right? Now it seems like we might be protecting more than just victims. I don't know. I'm not going to, I'm not 100% sure, but we're going to kind of look through some of these things, and we're going to try and maybe work it out together and figure it out because nobody knows except those people that were involved, right? I wasn't involved, so I don't know a damn thing about it. But it's definitely something that is definitely it's definitely something that worries me. First, I'm not saying I'm turning on President Trump because this man has done an amazing job. Done an amazing job in our country. He's taking care of the illegal aliens, getting rid of them, and getting jobs back into America. All great things. All great things. But then there's this stuff that is a little fishy, wishy washy that I just don't understand. And and now you're not even sure there's a desk says cross. Oh my goodness, that's a good one, right? But that's what I haven't done. Let me, my computer. So I couldn't get Rumble to work at all, right? So I, earlier this weekend, and so I restarted my computer. That didn't work. I restarted my Chrome browser. That didn't work, and it was just the audio I couldn't get to work right. So then I'm like, well, let me use Safari, which is a different web browser that I could use. And on that one, I couldn't get the share screen to work. So it was just like crazy all weekend. And I emailed them for support. And Friday, actually, I emailed them. And I'm like, well, it's the holidays, they're probably not going to be answering me. And then this morning I said, F it. I just deleted Chrome off of my whole computer, re-download it, which sucks because now you got to enter in all your passwords and all that stuff again, right? And so that just, and then as soon as I get it done, they're like, "Hi, we're here to help." First off, did you and you know what I don't actually get, I email these people and I'm like, "Look, here's what I've done. I restarted the browser. I've got everything is updated, up to date as of right freaking now." First thing they ask you is, "Did you update everything?" It's like, "Did you guys even read my email?" Anyways, but yeah, there's this something tricky going on right now, and maybe we'll do this lawyer thing that my doctor taught me. We can walk step by step through it, but I'm definitely not liking what's going on. Like I said, first I didn't like the big huge bill, the big beautiful bill. There's too many things in there, and I started reading it. And you know what? I actually got bored. I actually stopped reading it. But there's things in there already in the beginning that I don't like. And I was gonna do it. I spent like 8 hours researching it. because I was gonna do a show on it, and then I'm like, if this is boring me, I can only imagine how boring it's gonna bore the other people. But I don't know. I might try it anyways. Also, I've been sharing court cases and other things on the other Eddie Block Films channel we have here called Chase and Cuffs or Cuffs and Chase, something like that. I don't know. You'll probably see him around because you watch if you have Rumble Premium, you don't gotta pay for commercials, right? And I go on YouTube and I'm watching, and there's all these freaking commercials. And the other day I was showing one. I'm like, you know what? While I was playing poker, I'm like, why don't I just freaking start posting the ones from YouTube over here on Rumble so we don't gotta see the commercials. So I'm slowly doing that. But then, when you got two dogs in a dirty, dusty area in the heat, your computer gets clogged up with a lot of stuff. So I gotta really do a good cleanup of my computer. But anyways, let's start. Let's see what kind of stuff is going on today. And girl, I see you're in there, and X is open. I mean, not X. Oh my goodness. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I open up Discord for anybody that wants to join us and talk about this. Um, Here's another thing too. What do you think? Everybody is upset with Elon already, just because President. He's talking about President Trump, and he's mad, which I can see it. Wouldn't you be mad if you spent hours upon days, all of a sudden all your tests, all your dealerships are getting uh, torched from protesters, all because you are helping out President Trump lower our debt, lower the spending, and then all of a sudden he comes in with this new bill adding $5 trillion to the spending. And so I can understand why he's kind of upset about it. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? And so my thoughts are this. When President Trump has brought in what is it, up to like $2.5 trillion or something? Companies overseas coming in now, back to the United States. So maybe President Trump is thinking, well, I'm just going to keep getting all these companies to come back so we can afford to spend these extra couple of $1 billion, or I mean trillions of dollars. I'm sorry, a year. But in my head, I'm like, you know what? I listened to this guy named Dave Ramsey, right? Dave Ramsey is a guy, and he's like, the best credit score you can have is 0. You don't want credit. All you're doing is losing money when you buy stuff on credit. And people even call it, well, you know what, though? If I go out and I get a loan for $100,000, I can start this business where I'm going to make millions of dollars a year. And Dave Ramsey's like, yeah, but you're taking out credit to start a business. You're in debt before you even start your business. That's not the way to start a business. And I get it. Yes. If you have everything planned out right and everything works out properly for that, you're going to become a multimillionaire doing that, right? But all it takes is one little teeny, 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 tiny thing to go wrong that starts the snowball effect. And then it just keeps spinning and spinning and spinning. And Ross says Musk is a spoiled brat. People with Asperger's. That's right. Yeah, Asperger's are like that. They're nice at first and then backstab. I don't know though. I don't know. I mean that's definitely a possibility, right? So one possibility is Elon Musk is just, he's a brat and he's backstabbing President Trump. Then you got the fact to where he could be upset, because of all this money he saved to just be spent again. I can see that as well, right? Or maybe there's a whole nother thing that happened in the background that none of us know about. So Graw thinks that Musk. Well, he doesn't think. This is what he had put out there, that Musk is a spoiled brat. So this is a possibility. Anybody else out there's got a possibility that we could think of that might be causing all this? And what drives me nuts, what I don't like, number one, is the fact that all of a sudden now you can't. Everybody has to hate Elon Musk. I don't hate the guy. You know, if what he's doing is for some malicious reason, then yeah, that's awful, right? But I don't know yet. I don't know. I don't know. And I can't just go off of if somebody just tells me, "Hey, don't like this person," I always gotta question it. I always gotta question why. And that's just me. That's just the person I am. Like I've been saying lately, if you don't have the receipt. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say you hate him, girl? I didn't mean that you hate him. I just meant like, that's what your thoughts are. Maybe it's because he's got his Asperger's and something went crazy. And I just don't know. I don't see any receipts here yet. It's just to me it's just so dang crazy about what's going on right now. Um how can you go from 1 minute being totally on board and then the next minute you're not on board anymore? It just there's something weird going on. Oh, I gotta accept this stuff. I'm sorry. Okay, I thought I had a since I restarted my computer, I had to do all of this extra stuff. Oops. Um, let's. I gotta. So it just doesn't make sense right now. Um, hold on. So just how can two people go from working great together, having a great relationship to not? It's just I just don't know. It just doesn't make sense. And when it doesn't make sense, then I don't know how to think and I want to do more research on it. And I've been doing research, but all you can find is the infighting. Some people say, "Oh, you must gotta hate Elon Musk because of this, because President Trump said so." Then you got the other people saying, "Well, you gotta hate President Trump because of what it's." But most of it is everybody is just hating on Elon Musk right now. And I'm not gonna hate on 'em until I see the receipts, because everybody should be able to disagree about something. That's my biggest thing. And so I'm not just gonna go hating on people right away. I it may come to the point to where, yeah, I'm gonna be like, "Man, this fucking Elon Musk dude, I mean, he screwed the pooch. He messed up." But I don't wanna I don't I used to be the person that just jumped on the bandwagon right away and so I don't want to do that. I want to, I don't know. It's all my therapist's fault, guys. He's got me thinking ways. So Gross says you can't have superpowers in one room. It's like sleeping with twins that talk all the time. Oh my goodness, that is such a great way to explain it, Gross. I never even thought it. Yeah, because you got Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, and then you have Donald Trump over here, the president of the president of the biggest country. Um, let's see, a president of the country who basically runs the world, right? They're two superpowers, and that's like you said, that's 100% true. So it's hard. It's hard. And now Elon Musk says he's launching the America Party to take on the Republican Democrat Uniparty, and get serious about it. And when he said that, I'm like, you know what? It's difficult. It's so difficult because look at what Ross Perot did. Ross Perot took away so many votes and kind of ruined it, right? Having you know the votes were taken away, and that could have gone to the right person, right? But then you on top of it, you start thinking, but wait, you know what? I don't agree. They keep calling MAGA a cult. I don't think MAGA is a cult. Oh, oh, thank you for subscribing. I just sent this to a friend of mine from our. I play a game, and she is my reminder because I got so much stuff going on that I forget to play. Like we have tournaments that you have to play certain times. And this person reminds me. She's my reminder, and she wanted to ask my thoughts on it. I was like, "Well, I can't right now. I'm live streaming it." And so, thank you for subscribing to our channel. We appreciate it, or I should say, I appreciate it. It's only my channel now. But with this this new party, I like the idea of having a new party, but it's scary because if you separate conservatives into two groups and there's only one group of liberals, Well, then all the liberals are gonna vote one way, and they're gonna cheat on top of it, right? So that's an issue. But sometimes I think we need a third party. Hi, your mama. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Um, so this is such a hard thing to consider. Is it a good thing that we have another party? I always think that, here's the problem right now. We have it 50-50, and 50-50, because you only have two parties. And the way it works is if it's a Democrat bill, the Democrats are only going to vote on it, only going to vote for it, and the Republicans are only going to vote against it. And if it's a Republican bill, only the Republicans are going to vote for it, and the Democrats are going to vote against it. And that's what we see right now. That's to me. I know that's been government for as long as we've had it, but it just doesn't work for me. And I think if we could have, three parties, it would be great. But then the problem is, if you have three parties and two are conservative and one's liberal, well then all the liberals are gonna vote for the one party, and then the conservatives are gonna be splitting their vote, and so you're gonna have issues there because we're never gonna get the votes again. So what do you guys think? What do you think, your mama? You're new here. What do you think about having a third party? How badly is it gonna mess it up? Or is it gonna mess it up just for a little bit? Maybe a couple years until things settle down? Or is it just gonna totally destroy the United States, and it's gonna ruin it to where liberals can just take over everything? Then there's also the possibility of it could be a good thing, but, every good thing doesn't just happen right away. It takes time. And what if we don't have the time anymore for it to ramp up and work out as a good thing? Because there is an area in politics right now to where not every a certain person. Well, I'm not a liberal because I don't agree 100% with everything the liberals do, but I'm not a conservative. And maybe we could take away at the same time a lot of the liberals coming over and switching sides a little bit. I don't know. It could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. So let's move on. Let's start talking about these Epstein files and stuff. Well, like the Hodge twins are saying, Trump has done a lot of good things as president, but we didn't vote to keep funding the Ukraine war, and we won't be silent about it. Process, I think three parties is a horrible idea for exactly what you said. It will enable the Democrats, and that's the problem right now. That's the problem. No, Ben Bergquam. You guys know I started out with him, and he always said that the Democrats they still have slaves today. You get people on welfare, you get people on government assistance, and you keep giving them more and more free stuff. And you teach people that it's better to be on government assistance. You don't have to work, right? Oh, we're going to give you free food. We're going to give you free housing. We're going to give you free this. And they do. So then and then they tell you, well, if you vote Republican, you're going to lose all your benefits. So that's how they're keeping them slaves. They give them free stuff, you know. They give you just enough to where you can get by, but at the same time, if you try and better yourself and go out and get a job, you hurt yourself because you lose all the benefits before you can, you know, you gotta start from the scratch, right? I'm a retired plumber. You start as a journeyman, you're making the minimum of the minimum, and you got to do all the shit work that nobody wants to do. And the problem with that is people then, well, I got why don't I remember my apprentice. He's like, Eddie, I'm not your fucking little bitch, Eddie. I'm not going to do all this stuff for you. And I'm like, look, you know what? I thought the same thing too when I was an apprentice. But you got to do it in order to become a journeyman. You got to go through the steps, right? You want to make the $101 an hour that I'm making right now. Well, you got to do the shit work first. And that's the stuff we have to think about, you know, because people are on welfare and they're like, well, I got to get a job, but you got to start at the bottom. And then they're telling her, says, well, I make $4,000 a month and free rent on welfare. Why should I go get a job for $3,000 a month and lose all my welfare and benefits? But in the long run, it's a good thing. And they teach people that. So they're slaves now. For the rest of their lives, they're slaves of the Democrat Party. So your mama says, I think the third party will definitely did the demon craps a victory in 28. Of course, yeah, I agree with that 100%. But the question is, in the long run, would it be better? And I don't know. It's just so hard to think about. Graw says Steven Crowder says there are 40 million slaves right now, the most in history. I don't doubt that. I think every single person that's on welfare, that's on either welfare or you get food stamps, any kind of government assistance, except for disability. Okay, and disability is a whole different subject here. There's a lot of people on disability that shouldn't be. They screw the pooch, they pay a doctor, they go to certain doctors who will just, "Oh, yeah, you're handicapped, here you go." No problem whatsoever. But then there's people like me that nobody will hire me anymore because of my disability. I was a plumber for a long time. I was the top of my league, and then my body just went down. I can't walk anymore like I used to. I can't carry a freaking 4-inch cast iron pipe, which weighs like 150 pounds. You can't walk. I can't walk. So people on disability are in a different category. Anyways, but yeah, I think Steven Crowder might even be conservative on that. I think it's probably more like 60 million people. Well, let's look it up. How many people are on government assistance? Let's see. What's the numbers? Just and these numbers are never 100%. What? How many people? What am I saying? I was going to say what percentage. How many people in the U.S. are on government? Because there's some in 2022, around 1 in 3, approximately 100 million people were enrolled in at least one government assistance program. So I'm going to guess it's probably double what Crowder said, brah. That would be my guess. That would be my guess. It's just insane. Um, So yeah, this third party is definitely a bad thing. But here's what I find interesting. So now all of a sudden, oh, he was referring to worldwide? I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think if you're on government assistance, you're a slave, no matter what? If you're on government assistance, how many people really get off of it? Oh my gosh, what is that? What's the word? What is the word? When you go to prison, recidivism, right? What is the recidivism rate of people on government assistance? Or actually, I don't even know if that's the right way to say it. Research suggests that government assistance program can play a role in reducing recidivism rates among certain people. Oh, that's only for prison. Okay. What percentage of Americans get off from government assistance? Let's see that. Oh, gross. Oh, they're talking about actual slaves. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, that that's probably a pretty good number too. It's difficult to pinpoint a single percentage for Americans leaving government assistance, as it varies greatly. Um, so see, they're not even going to give you. They're not going to give you a. I just wonder how many people have gotten off government. Anyway, so let's get back to this. So today's kind of weird. So first off, the Epstein files. Pam Bondi said the Epstein client list is on my desk, and we're going to go through it. We're going to make sure that we don't leak any names or hurt any more victims. So we want to go through this list before we publish it. There's a list, but we're going to publish it after we delete out certain names to protect the victims, is what she said, if I remember correctly. Now all of a sudden today, oh, there was no Epstein list. We can now confirm there was no Epstein list. Uh, President Trump ran on putting out the Epstein list. And no, I am not saying that it's because President Trump's on there. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is something fishy is going on though. All of a sudden there's no Epstein client list. They have all these victims, and Ghislaine Maxwell is in jail. Epstein was in jail, but there's no list. There's no list at all. It just doesn't make sense in my mind. Then you go and you have OMG, right? What's his name's media group? My brain's freezing today. And he goes in there and he shows you the property. Right? James O'Keefe is walking around the property, and there's certain celebrity names on certain rooms. But yet there's no Epstein client list. Somebody has something on, well, of course somebody has something on somebody else. But what the heck is it? That's what I want to know. And I don't think we're ever going to know. These people are too high up the food chain, and it just doesn't make sense. The second thing that happened today that I kind of think was it Project Veritas? Yeah, well, that's James O'Keefe, right? Isn't it still? I think it's the same. I'm not sure. I get all these ones mixed up. Thank you, Gra. And now all of a sudden, President Trump didn't want to send any more money to Ukraine. So we're not sending you a dime anymore. And now all of a sudden, he wants to send them weapons again. On the same day, these two things happen. Are they a coincidence? I don't know. But something just seems off. It doesn't make sense to me. And I have trouble when things don't make sense to me. Then I start worrying. Let's see what Scott Jennings says. I love Scott Jennings. He's on CNN, but he's a good CNN reporter. Let's see what he's saying about about Elon Musk.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's possible or not. I hope it is, and hope springs eternal where I come from. But I wish they would come back together, and I wish Elon, who I admire greatly, and I think was a big part of what happened for the Republicans in 2024, would realize we live in a two-party system, and from time to time people try to go off and start these third parties, and never really works out. And the best way to affect change in American politics is to participate inside the party that best reflects what you want. As I understand it, Elon wants to save the country from going bankrupt, and he wants to save Western civilization, from unfettered mass migration.
Well, this is the
Republicans that best represent him.
This is the platform. Musk reposted this from a user who asked, "Is this the America Party platform?" and then listed the following priorities. And Musk replied, "Yeah." So I assume this is the platform. Reduce debt, responsible spending only, modernize military with AI and robotics, pro-tech, accelerate to win in AI, less regulation across the board, but especially in energy, free speech, pro-natalist, which is policy that would promote higher birth rates, and centrist.
Okay, so let's look at all these things. Reduce debt and responsible spending only. Okay, that's a great thing. I think our politicians have run our country into the ground. And it's mostly because they're all getting kickbacks from it. You can't work a job making $180,000 a year and become a millionaire over a year's time. That's let's be real. We know what's going on. We know there's something going on, but is there any way to get rid of it? Right? You vote in who's somebody you think's not going to be like that, and then all of a sudden they are. And it's because all the rest of them are doing it. And I'm a big fan of this TV show. Wow, my brain is really off. But it was a TV show about politics, and it was on Netflix, and the whole thing was about it has nothing to do with anything but the fact that you have something over somebody else, and you better have something over somebody else, or else you're not going to make it in politics. And I'm afraid to say it, but I think that's exactly how our political system works. If you're a newcomer and you come in and you don't go with the program, you may be good at first, right? You may promise to be good, and you're not taking advantage of it. But either you get rooted out, or they get to you, and they get you to do it with them. I don't know how we can fix it. I don't think it can ever be fixed. The human people are just greedy like that. Well, that's a serious question. Will Musk be the bad guy, like the dude in Terminator 2 that created the AI that took over the human race? So I was going to get to that. AI. AI is something that scares the living heck out of me. I don't trust it. And maybe it's because I'm an 80s kid and I grew up watching the Terminator, like Gra is talking about. Can AI ever turn on us? I think it's a damn good. I think there's a damn good possibility again. Could it never happen? Sure, but I am definitely worried about what AI can and can't do. I mean, the other day I saw a video of AI. It's soccer players. There's another company that has AI, and what they do is they have AI watch specific players, like they're doing LeBron James, which is the biggest douchebag in everything, and they're it's learning its moves by simply watching videos of LeBron James play. Um, they're having them watch UFC matches and learning how to fight from UFC matches. So they have the ability to hurt a human. Right now, they're programmed not to. They say they can't think for themselves, but I don't trust it at all. Hey, what's up? The great. Oh my gosh, Jeff Mack is over here. What's going on, Jeff Mack? I haven't talked to you in a long time, buddy. How you doing, Jeff? How you doing? Okay, Gra, I think just showed up in Discord, which you did. What's going on, Gra?
Yeah, I want to get in on this AI conversation for sure.
Please do.
And I'm right there. I'm right there with you too, man. Scares the shit out of me. Anybody with any common sense knows that you can't create. It's like creating Frankenstein. You lose control. You can't control something that's smarter than we are.
Yeah.
You're creating something that's smarter than we are. Bottom line is this. Here's the part that scares me about it, Eddie. Even if we create AI and all of a sudden we're like, oh no, this is a bad thing. We need to pull the plug. We need to kill that AI. Well, AI is going to make it look like that we did kill them, but we didn't. You see, they're going to play dead. They're going to play possum.
Uh-huh.
So I seen something somewhere yesterday. AI tried to recreate itself in another server, another platform or something,
Mm-hmm.
but it wouldn't allow itself to do that. Now think about that. It was so smart that it would not let itself recreate itself. It would not allow. So it's already thinking about backup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Under the radar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the scary part. If it would make us even if it did become
Hey,
self-aware, it crested that threshold where it became aware, it would be smart enough to make us think that it's not aware. In other words, if it controlled the world all of a sudden,
Mm-hmm.
we would never know it.
No.
We would never freaking know it. It would be smart enough to not let us know that it is in control. So that being said, is it possible that that's already happened? Hey, Snooks.
I definitely
Hey,
think it's
hey, Jeb.
when you were just talking about that, that's what just popped in my head. Could it already be happening and we don't even know about it yet?
Could it have already happened? You got all these people talking about they think we're living in a matrix.
Hmm.
And it's gotta, at this point, I'm like anything's possible. Anything is possible at this point.
It is.
Now the government just admitted a couple of weeks ago that they've been lying to us about UFOs. So are you lying now that we're lying to us about UFOs, or were you lying to us about
Back
UFOs?
then.
How do we know you're not lying now? You see what I'm saying? How are you supposed to trust when someone says, "Oh yeah, I was lying before, but I'm not lying now"? Sorry, too late. Thanks for playing her game. You're wrong. I don't believe a fucking word you say.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up Nephilim too now. I got to write that on my list. Yeah, it is. It's scary, and I always, a lot of people, I used to say, well, the reason why stuff gets made, like flying cars and stuff like that, is because somebody thought it up as a plan in a book, and then somebody said, you know what, maybe I can make that work. Let's do it this way. And sometimes nowadays, though, I'm wondering, what if really these things are out there and somebody knows about it, so they just write about it in a book? It could be opposite.
I've honestly thought for a long time, there's no way in hell the human being is smart enough to develop a lot of the shit that they have nowadays. A lot of it would be so simple for them to just reverse engineer it.
Yeah,
They've got electromagnetic pulse weapons that they can point at you like a gun and
yeah,
melt you. Holy crap! Eh,
yeah.
Who
You know,
human the human brains aren't that smart. We're not that smart.
I rumbled myself that time. I rumbled myself for a second there. We got a lot of people in here.
Oh,
I rumbled ourselves. Yeah, it's
good.
scary. Who knows what is real anymore? I used to think, okay, all this technology we're getting is from aliens, right? I believe in aliens.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The reverse engineering. We capture it, or they even disclose it, or they're here. People like, oh, they may show up someday. How do you know they didn't show up 50,000 years ago and they're still here? And if they were, and they would be so smart
Yeah,
that we would never know they were here. Same thing we were talking about with AI.
yeah. What if Men in Black is real? you know.
Yeah,
Hold on a second, girl. We got to do a
if you,
commercial real quick. 1 second. Let me do
all
this real
right, go
quick.
ahead.
I got the option
Absolutely.
to do it, so let's do it. We got a lot of people in here.
Right
Thank you to
on.
Jeff.
Let's do it.
Thanks to Jeff Mack. He just sent a whole bunch of people over here. Oh, and now it's not going to do it. Now it's not letting me do it. Hold on. Let me refresh. Something's going wrong. My computer's been messing up a lot lately. Let's accept and start. It's spinning. Not going to give us. All right, F it. We don't need to do a commercial then. Let's keep going. Oh, it says oh, here we go. Still haven't tried 1775 coffee yet? Now's your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped with only 1,000 units, even though it dropped like months ago and they're still only on their 1,000 units. You're getting the bold, dark roast that hits harder than a CNN fact check. The smooth, medium roast and the Vitality Mushroom coffee for clean energy and laser focus. No crash. All single origin, small batch, toxin free, and mold free. Plus, you're also getting a gold spoon clip because freedom isn't scooped with plastic. And President Trump loves gold, right? A frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother in law's political opinions. And a black 1775 tumbler that says, I don't take life advice or my caffeine from a woke sea witch. We all know who they're talking about. $170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for 99 bucks. This is for the ones who've been watching 1775 blow up on Rumble, wondering if it's actually worth it. Spoiler, it is. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're all gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something, just like Rumble does. So start your day with coffee that actually backs what you believe. Is it a good deal? Somebody told me that it's really good coffee. Somebody told me it's really good coffee.
I heard that too.
Yeah.
I heard.
I don't drink coffee though, so I don't know. Anyways, let's get back to this AI stuff. I'm sorry I cut you off, Graw. You remember where we were? We're too
Well, I'm reading through the chat. Captain Seamus, he seems to know because he's right. Where the space is one big giant wave. It's all waves, and you got your
Electric.
dark matter, and you got your yes.
Yeah, it is.
We're all just riding the wave. Catch the wave.
I mean, your whole body is electrified if you don't know it. I mean, if you want to tell your finger to move, it's an electronic signal that goes. We're basically computers if you think about it, right?
I found an interesting thing yesterday, and of course, like you said, nowadays you don't know what to believe, and
Yeah.
they throw clickbait out there all the time. But I watched a thing just yesterday about in 1977 when we launched Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, and
Mhm.
they both flew past all the planets. One got better pictures than the other. One of them we sent into interstellar space. In other words, outside of our solar system, out past the orb into open space, so it's been traveling at whatever million miles per hour since 1977 away from us.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, last week, it got a radio signal from somewhere that's not us that stopped it in its tracks and turned it around, and now it's coming back to Earth. In other words, it reversed course.
Yeah.
So, is it just an anomaly, or did somebody put up a little force field? Well, who knows? Who knows? You don't know what to believe nowadays.
You don't. And by the way,
But anyway, hey,
if
go
anybody
ahead.
wants
I
to,
just want to say welcome to everybody from Jeff Mack. Hey, thanks for
yeah,
coming over.
I appreciate that, Jeff Mack. And so, since we have a lot of new people in here, I'm going to post our Discord to this chat that we're in right now. You can join voice chat with us since we have all these people. What are your thoughts on the subject? We're talking anything you want to talk about today. AI, the Epstein client list, which it's blowing my mind right now that all of a sudden there's no Epstein client list. I just, you know, what does Judge Judy say? You can don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. You know?
Yeah, yeah. And like you said, is there even a desk? Does Pam Bondi even have a fucking desk?
Oh, that's
Sorry,
what you
excuse my
said.
French.
That's what you said, not me.
Yeah, yeah. I'm beginning to wonder, does she even have an office? Is she even real? Yeah, is she AI? Holy crap!
Yeah, you never know. You never know what the heck's going on nowadays. It's just too interesting that a couple months ago, oh yeah, there it's on my desk. It's sitting on my desk. And I know they had the hold on, let's find the video. Somebody had it. They shared it today on X.
Yeah, and then she's like, all you people from, that's not mainstream media, you guys come in. I've got notebooks for you also, the JFK files. And they all walk in, hey, look what we got. They didn't even look in there, and what was in there had already been published like
Yeah.
50 years ago.
I mean, were you disappointed with everything that's come out so far?
Of course. Of course.
You
Are
know?
you not disappointed with all these people, all these committees coming together? So Joe Biden hiding this, the doctor's supposed to testify Wednesday as to how screwed up Joe Biden is, and all these other people were running the show. You think anything's going to happen to those people?
No.
If you think nothing's going to happen to all these people and no one's going to be held accountable, type 1 in the chat.
Yes. Not only
Holy crap.
Not only that, yeah. So like Capital says, if there's no client list, then why is Maxine or Ghislaine Maxwell in jail, right? That's a big issue. The other,
Boom, man, that's mic drop comment right there.
it is, and it's just think about this. All these, oh yeah, there's gonna be arrests made. All of a sudden, we're gonna know everything, folks. We're gonna tell you everything that's going on. Yet there still hasn't been one arrest. Not one single arrest. I love President Trump and I love what he's done with this country so far. Saving us money, getting jobs back in America, getting all the illegal aliens out of our freaking country, all these predators that are hurting Americans. But there's some things I don't like, and this is one of them. I don't like that nobody's been arrested. Nobody's been arrested. How has that happened?
I mean, nobody except Ghislaine Maxwell is the only one I can think of.
And if there was no client list, yeah, her. But if there's no client list, then why did Epstein even get arrested in the first place?
And see, and she's not even part of our government. She's not even part of the elite, the people that are supposed to be in charge of taking care of us. And you and I talked about this before.
Yeah,
They know the whole time that they're going to be congressman or a senator that they are going to be ostracized and put down,
of course.
threatened with jail and threatened with prison. Look at Adam Schiff, the biggest lying POS that there is on that entire hill. And he knows he's never going to go to jail or prison for nothing, going to make his piddly little $176,000 a year.
Yep.
But after he leaves the Senate, he's going to be making millions and millions of dollars every year, doing a book and being on. He'll be a newscaster. He'll be the main guy on CNN.
Yeah.
Him and little fat man will be banging each other in the Congress Senate floor. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm kidding
Hold on.
aside. I got to put my chin Nick DiPaolo.
Yeah, I haven't watched him or Crowder in a while. I got to get going again. But Zero Rugrat 67 said it takes time to build a soundproof case, which I can understand. I give them 6 more months right before the midterms. It's coming. I sure hope you're right. I sure hope you're right. I'm one of those people though. I like results now. You know, but it's gotten me in a lot of trouble, like I want that brand new 3D printer. So I go out and buy it. I'm going to have a business. I'm going to 3D print the hell out of everything. I'm going to make tons, and it's sitting right here doing that.
It's every time we see something we want, I need you to hit that instant gratification button. Hey, look who's in the chat. Pamela G's finally
Instant
home.
gratification.
What's up, Pamela G? Wait, she's on her way home?
No, she's home.
Oh, she is? Oh, I didn't even know she left. Oh, man. Did you guys have a nice little vacation together?
Yeah. She snuck out the day before yesterday. Took her little money off the table beside the bed. My dog
and took your dog.
Snuck out the door.
They
and
took my dog. Yeah. I wonder how many. So Sage Pup says, I wonder how many feds are on the Epstein list.
I wonder how many feds are in the chat right
now. Yeah. By the way, FBI, give me my shit back, please. Jeez,
yeah,
Louise.
really, FBI. Would you come on?
And my lawyer keeps telling me every day, I'm working on your case, Eddie. I'm getting your stuff back from the FBI. Don't worry about it.
That's bullshit. Yeah. He's a fucking lawyer. What do you expect him to say?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about your stuff. Quit calling me.
Yeah. That's definitely true. That's definitely true.
That's what
my feed time says, well, she did have the big one, Prince Andrew. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. Sage, he also says I'm not sure. Adam Schiff just sat in the back of the plane, done alone and touching himself. Well, that might be true.
You ever seen a grown man naked? Yeah, probably.
Well, so there's a congressman in my area here in Fresno. It's Jim Costa. And if you guys don't know, he's not much in the news and stuff because he doesn't do a lot of stuff. But when he was a senator for the state of California, he got arrested picking up 2 prostitutes. And he said, I think I'm gay. I'm not sure if I'm gay. So I wanted to get the second prostitute to make sure if I was gay or not.
Oh, that was my excuse too. It didn't work.
That was 22 years ago. The guy is still in office and nobody can beat him because he's a Democrat. It just don't make sense. Who's voting for some guy picking up hookers on the side of the road?
They're not getting voted in. They're getting bought in. They're getting paid for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. It's just there's something wrong with there's 2 things that happened today that are big. No Epstein list, and now all of a sudden we're providing guns or providing weapons, I should say, for the Ukraine. And somebody, I don't know if it was in the chat earlier, but somebody had said that, hey, well, you know what, though? We just made a deal with Ukraine for their mineral rights. So maybe part of it is we have to help them with this.
Well, that's what Trump was trying to do initially. Remember, then Zelensky stood up and was like, I'm not wearing a suit and I'm not going to do that. And then I think he changed his mind.
Yeah.
But Trump's kind of stuck in between Tucker and Mark Levin. Trump, Marjorie Taylor Greene's like, no, we don't need to send them no money. And Mark Levin's like, well, if you just let Russia run over them, they're just going to keep running over everybody else. What do you want to do? they're like our front line defense right now. So
Yeah. Cindy says, "Hey Eddie, I guess I came in at an odd time. You ever seen a grown man naked?"
so that's a comment from the movie Airplane,
Airplane.
right?
Great
Yes.
movie. Great movie. My
So Billy, you like gladiator movies?
yeah. My feed times 3 says, "What the hell? I'm not happy at all with today's outcome." I'm not either. So somebody has something on somebody. Why? And maybe more than just one person. How are we not getting this Epstein list?
It's either that or what they reveal would cause World War III or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
It would breach national security.
That's that's been talked about too. Like some people are saying, well, Netanyahu's on there, or you know, some other world leader. Which and folks, I am not just jumping to the conclusion that Donald J. Trump is on there. I'm not. I don't think he. I mean, the man's never had a drug or alcohol in his life because, and for those of you that don't know, I read a story about it the other day. The reason why he says he's never had a drink or drugs in his life is because somebody in his family had their life ruined by drugs and alcohol, and that's very
Yeah,
believable. That's very
yeah.
believable.
And there's a lot of people that's flown on Epstein's jet that didn't go to the island.
Yeah,
Also, you know, yeah,
I mean, think about it. Somebody, oh, I'm going to go to New York later on. You want to fly on my jet? Sure.
sure.
Who would say no to flying on a private jet?
Look at look at AOC and what's his name, Bernie. They've been flying. That's not their jet. That's somebody else's jet that they're leasing. There, you know what I
Oh,
mean? That's
of
flying
course
them
not.
around.
Of
So
course not. And that's the problem with Democrats. And you know me, lately I've been trying to tell people, look, let's do our research first. Let's not just jump to conclusions. Because look at these Democrats. AOC, anything she says, they believe. It could be, she could say, you know what, I'm God. I'm the real God, I'm just here, I'm a Democrat to make everything better in the United States. And the Democrats would believe it. Because they only believe what people say.
and speaking of which, this new man Bounby or whatever freaking name is, or whatever, him and Trump's going around and around. Trump's like, "Come get you some," and this guy's like, "You can't tell me what to do." Trump's like, "Dude, you don't know who you're fucking with."
Yeah. So
You know.
so Jay Sprays and Zero Rugrat 67 both are saying that it was Trump's brother who was that person who was an alcoholic.
Oh, probably so.
Yeah.
Oh, sounds.
Sage Pop says, "I'm not an alcoholic. I don't go to meetings."
Yeah. That's like when I told you, I said, "Damn, Danny, Eddie, I didn't realize you drank so much till I seen you sober that one time."
I know, right?
And you said, "You lying motherfucker, you never seen me sober." Sorry, I gotta quit cussing.
Well, I'm crippled and I walk bad, and so I used to tell the people at the bar because I go drinking, and you're right. I used to drink enough to where they're like, "You're not drunk," because I play it off very well. And so one day I told the bartender, I was like, "You know how to tell when I'm drunk? I walk straight."
You
And
walk
she
straight,
just
yeah.
started
Stand
laughing.
up, yeah.
But it's true. Once you become a working alcoholic, people don't
Yeah.
notice it anymore. And
You know how you can tell when Pamela G's drinking?
when
She can parallel park.
she can parallel park. Is she that bad of a driver? Oh my goodness. By the way,
Oh my God.
I saw the picture of you two. That's a good looking picture of you two.
Oh yeah, thanks. I told her that was a good picture. She didn't like it.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it's just insane. And me, you got to hit rock bottom to finally fix yourself. And I hit rock bottom Christmas night. Any of you here that are not normals, I used to drink every single night on this show. And towards the end, I'd start really telling everybody how I feel about them. And I had a situation that I was just getting out of, and that person decided to, or I don't know if I called them or they called me, but I'm sitting there, and when my friend David Devine, if you don't know, he was a singer for the Misfits and and the Ramones. When this person calls you up and says, "Eddie,
No.
oh whoops,"
You need to end the stream, Eddie.
then you really know it's bad.
get it right there. Is that voice got stuck in your head? That's actually not that. That actually there is nothing on that button when you push that. You're just hearing that in your head. You realize that, don't you?
We
This
need
It's
to end the
actually not.
stream,
I'm
Eddie.
just hearing that in my head. Probably.
Yeah, yeah. It's not a recording. Everybody else is hearing nothing. I'm like, what? I didn't hear that.
Oh, geez. Okay, so I know. I guess it is.
Yeah.
Like, and speaking about me drinking, it would get to where our great friend Hope, whenever I would get a little too drunk on the show, she'd call me up and say, "Eddie, you need to end the stream," and I'd be like, "No, I don't. I'm having fun," and she's like, "Exactly, end the stream." so,
Good.
so yeah. But I quit drinking on Christmas Day. Was it the Christmas Day or the day after Christmas? So I'm pretty happy with myself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and Gra quit smoking around the exact same time, so we're both doing a lot better in life.
Yeah, I did, and I think I had the comment of the night the other night when you mentioned that. I said, David Devine calling you and telling you to quit smoking is like Anthony Weiner texting you, telling
Yeah.
you to quit sending dick pics. It's just
yeah.
uh,
Is this?
David was probably drinking when he called you. Is
Oh,
what
I'm
I'm
sure
saying.
he was. I mean, David is passed out on our show, from the drinking. So when a guy who
Yes.
passes out on their own live stream from drinking calls you up and says you're drinking too much, then yeah, that's a
Not that there's nothing wrong with that. I'm
oh
just
no.
saying. I don't want to be hypocritical.
Heck no, I'm a freaking alcoholic. I can admit it.
Yeah, me too.
Zero Rugrats says I'm fucked if I smoke and drink. Oh yeah, that was kind of going on too. I had my edibles and alcohol,
Yeah.
and I was probably on my my pain pills as well. Yeah, it
I
was.
think I told you that I only smoke when I drink. I'm down to 3 packs a day
Oh, good, perfect. 3 packs,
now.
not bad at all. I still can't find it. So there was that video of Pam Bondi. They were showing it. Here we go. This is it right here.
That you alluded to. I saw your appearance at CPAC with Ben and with Ted Cruz. And one of the things that you alluded to, and this is something Donald Trump has talked about, the DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So what happened since February 21st? What has happened? I don't know. And it started off, oh, well, now we're going through, we're kind of, highlighting out the names so we don't hurt any of the victims a little bit longer. Oh, and we're still going through it. We don't want to give out any victims' names. And now all of a sudden there's no list whatsoever.
Well, the excuse that what's her name gave today in the White House presser was there's child pornography on there and that's not for public consumption.
But on the list, it's just a list of names. You can't tell us.
I know. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh yeah, can you can you divert from the question? That wasn't the question, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's a typical political answer. Hey, how much money do you make in a year? Well, the money's great right now that the people are making over there in Fresno area is making some good. Change the subject. The word of the day. Just change the subject. What Panda? Okay, Panda wants her treat. We give Panda and Donald J. Trump their treats. Come here, monster. Go, Panda Bear.
So yeah, like I said,
Donnie.
the link to Discord. Anybody wants to come up and shoot the breeze?
Yeah, I
What
posted
are some of the other comments people? Shoot the breeze. Come up, talk shit. What are other things?
All the old stuff.
Yeah.
A common phrase from when I was in the Navy from 90 to 94 was, it's all fun and game until someone pukes. It sure is.
Yeah.
And Sage Pup, thank you for your service. We appreciate our veterans here. You guys did the hard stuff for us, so thank you very much. We love you guys to death.
That's right. Guys, people like you that allow us to get on here and talk shit like we do all the time.
Oh, I was watching a video yesterday. I think it was on Facebook, and it was a cop, and he's like, you know what? He's like, I got called into work, and they said we had to go to this protest because we were asked to be part of this protest. And he's like, I love protests. It's everybody's freedom of speech to do whatever they want to say and do as long as they don't damage anything or anybody else. He's all, but we got called in. We have a contract to go to the defund police protest because they need the police's help to make sure nobody hurts them.
Yeah.
It just don't make any sense. How was your 4th of July with Pam?
It was good. It was good. She went outside, watched the neighbors pop off, and I'm like, man, fireworks. Okay, go ahead, go watch. Yeah,
You know, I used to love fireworks, but now that I'm older, it's just does
I
nothing
know.
for me. Does nothing for me. Female cyclist defends taking a stand on women's sports by refusing to take the podium with the trans winner. This is just another problem. You know, I'm on YouTube, so I can't say anything. But everything with this is just so wrong. So wrong. Sage Pub says a requirement to join the Navy is the ability to talk poop, huh? Yeah. Oh, the puppy just went away. Yeah, Cyril Ruggers, you're new here. I have my St. Bernard service dog because I'm disabled. His name is Donald J. Trump, and he was born Election Day 2020. And then I have Panda, which is my little border collie. So we got all kinds of pups here. Man, had all the stuff I was gonna. Speaking of Panda, here she comes. Hi, Panda Bear. Hey, pretty girl. I don't know. I just still can't fathom this. Maybe you guys can help us out a little bit. What do you guys think is with the Epstein list? Why do you think all of a sudden there was a list and now there's not a list? We want to hear your thoughts. We want to hear your thoughts. Do you think somebody has something over the president? And I'm not saying he was on the list, but like he owes him a favor or something like that. Or do you think that President Trump is saying there's no Epstein list? Right here's another possibility that we never even talked about yet, Craw. What if he says there's no Epstein list to kind of take these people that are on the list and let them feel safe and secure and all warm and bubbly, and just totally take them down in a couple months from now?
First thing, that was my first thought. See how they've got us thinking now?
Mm-hmm.
That was my first thought, is to, give them the what do they call it? The red herring, the false flag. That was my first thought. Like, he said something out loud the other day that I haven't heard him saying the first time. It was Marie Bartiromo asked him, says, so are we still gonna, you keep being friendly with China and they keep stealing our intellectual properties, and they're sending kids over here and they're doing this and they're lying about this and that. And Trump goes, well, you think we don't do the same thing? I was like, whoa, there you go.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. Now we're telling the truth.
Oh yeah.
We're not, this isn't the freaking Mary Tyler Moore show,
Yeah, that's true. And you know what else? So where was it? I just missed it. Jay Sprays one says, if they had anything on Trump, they would have used it already. The Democrats would have used it already.
Yeah, I think it was probably Nancy Pelosi was on the plane letting people motorboat her.
Oh man, why'd you have to put that in my freaking?
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh my goodness, I don't even want to think about that. Hey Donnie, come here, monster. Come here, Donnie. Come here, Panda. Maybe I'll get
Hey, Cindy.
Maybe I'll let you guys see Donnie. Here, he's gonna come now. Here's the monster. Here's Donald J. Trump. Come on, Bubba. There you go. One more treat for you. My 130-pound little baby. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. They would have used it by now. Your mama says, I'm really hoping that this is merely a sleight of hand, kind of like when Trump said, I'll decide in a week or two if I want to bomb Iran.
Perfect example. What about when he said, hey, now would be a good time to invest in the stock market? And then all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like, well, I told you should have. invested in this life. Nobody, you don't listen. It's like I went to Matamoros, Mexico, which is right across the border from Brownsville. My dad, stepmom, we walked across the border. Little Mexican boy walks him, goes, "Shine your boots for a nickel." My dad goes, "Okay," and he stood there, and the little kid shined his boots. And we walked about 2 blocks down into the shopping area, where it's all just a street mall.
Yeah.
Walked around the corner. The Mexican boy walks in, "Shine your boots for a penny."
Yep.
My dad goes, I just paid a nickel to have them done. And the
Yeah.
little Mexican boy goes, "You Americans, you never learn."
Right. It's just like, when you're getting gas or diesel and you're driving down the freeway and you stop at the first diesel station and you pay an extra, 10, 20 cents a gallon because you're right off the freeway because they know you're not going to go into the city a little bit.
Yes, first one you see. The next one you see is always a dime cheaper.
So Zero Rugrats says, Hooligan asked for help. I just hung out with him. Chit chat takes his minds off thing. Sage Pup, it was ass wrestles. That's awesome. People don't understand that about, veterans. Those little bangs to us are huge things to veterans. Same thing with dogs. I love the fact that we can celebrate our country with fireworks and stuff like that, but just be respectful. When I lived in Madeira, right, which we called Mexidera, you had fireworks 2 months before and 2 months after the 4th of July. That's when it gets out of hand. If you just have it one night, go all out on the 4th of July, and we're expecting it, so we can sit there and take care of it and deal with it.
Now, I like Jay Spray's one. I like the way they're thinking. Old boats are fun too.
Ooh, what kind of old boats are you talking about?
That's right. What are you talking about? Like Chris Craft, or are you talking about?
Are you talking about that old hot red-headed lady with the big boobs?
Oh, one of those old boats with the big mast.
Yeah. Oh, the big mast. Yeah. But does the mast still go up?
Yeah, but you got to crank on that thing.
You got to crank.
You got to pull that rope, man. You got to. It's that old mess is getting old and wrinkly, and
welcome to the Eddie Block Films show. And your mama is right though. Trump does a lot of he'll start a little fire over here to get your attention over here while he's doing something really big over here. Really big. One of the best things I think, or the funnest things I think for us that he did for trolling is when the government shut down. Remember, it was 2017, 2018, and all the congressmen and women were about to go on a vacation to some place, a work vacation. And he waited till they all got on the 2 buses and then called up and said, we have a government shutdown. These workers can't work, and they're not going to take you to the airport. Remember that one?
Ooh, yes, I do remember that.
That was the greatest.
I like what Cindy says, old boat Nancy P.
Nancy Pelosi. Why are you guys keep bringing up Nancy Pelosi?
What?
Now?
Oh
my gosh, you guys are bad.
Okay.
Hold on.
I definitely don't have that poster of her in swimsuit.
That's what I'm looking up right now. It reminds me of when Trump Uncle brought that up.
No, don't do it. I can't. I'm okay. Talk to you later.
Here you go, Gra.
Gee, thanks for that. Holy crap.
There's your big boobs. That's her daughter, Alexandra, I think. Or one of them. Yeah, that's Alexandra right there, I think. No, thank you. No, thank you. So let's talk about this stuff here too. There's a guy named Cat Turd on. I used to think of him as a quality reporter, not reporter, but a quality guy. And he's been, for some reason, all these people are fighting, and I don't get why they're fighting at all, but they're fighting back and forth. And so this Cat Turd person today says, where was it? He said today, just remember, it says, it's so awesome knowing what I know and watching the black pill panicans lose their mind. Anybody can say I know something, right? and on this one, he said, one more time, I know a little something and I have 100% faith in Dan Bongino and Kash Patel. You can't just tell us you know something. You got to give us receipts. I don't trust anybody. I mean, he knows something. What does he know? The sky is blue? Right? The problem is so many people are fake on the internet nowadays. Everybody's fake. And it's just, you don't know. Our world is you don't know. Sorry.
I think you hit it, Betty. I think you hit it. I think there's times when we are all so much a part of the instant gratification generation that we want it all and we want it now.
Yes.
And there's just some things that are better off unsaid, but some things that are better off unknown until the time is right.
Yes. Happy freedom.
And if they can explain it for a reason, like you can't reveal, it's like the ice blocker or whatever they call it now, ice block app.
Oh yeah.
That you see ice, call and block. You can't do that. You just can't, So now Trump's going around with the sanctuary cities, and they're all like, you see Bass? You see Bass out in LA, downtown LA today, and all of the border agents and the ICE agents that were on the street at what fucking park is that downtown? What park is it?
Echo Park? Would it be Echo Park?
No, it wasn't Echo. What's the one with the song? I forget. But anyway, there were like 100 agents out there, and she shows up and gets on the phone like there she is. Yeah.
Let's see what she's saying then. I didn't see this yet.
I am going to say.
Mayor Bass, I need to get my phone and we're departing.
Okay. All right. Mayor Bass.
Any comment, Mayor Bass?
Thank you.
Mayor Bass, any comment?
Yes, my comment is they need to leave, and they need to leave right now. They need to leave because this is unacceptable.
Who did you speak with?
Just wait and see.
Mayor Bass.
So I'm guessing she's talking about ICE, right?
Yes.
Your mama says no more pics of Nancy Pelosi. So here's here's something else that Donald Trump pissed me off about the other day. He agreed to give federal aid to California because of the riots. Karen Bass, Gavin Newsom, all these Democrats, as you want to call them, all these folks let the riots happen. They knew it was happening, and they did it on purpose so that way they could make Donald J. Trump look bad. So they could, look what ICE is doing. ICE is just arresting everybody and anybody. And then look, oh my gosh, all these riots are Donald J. Trump's fault because he brought ICE to LA in California. And now he's helping them out. I live in California. I don't think you should send us a freaking dime of federal money. What's going on? Something weird is going on, and I don't like that. I don't understand it, and I don't know.
Well, now it's just completely got to the point to where anything that he does, they want to do the opposite. When they come out, there was a couple of people. There was a couple of people in the news today saying that the little girls that drowned in Texas deserved to drown because their families voted for Trump.
Yeah, it was some black lady. She got arrested, or she lost her job or something, I believe.
Yeah, she was a black teacher somewhere. Or no, was it a teacher? I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how does someone's mind get to that dark? Just their heart completely black.
Yeah.
To where you can justify saying that about innocent little girls at a summer camp. Holy crap, come on.
It's MacArthur Park. It was MacArthur Park, what you're talking about.
Park, that's right, MacArthur Park.
And I've told the story before, but there's a lot of new people here, so we don't. I have that. I got to find the recording now of Hope saying, "I've heard this before, Eddie," but a long time. I was an Elks member. I no longer am, and the San Francisco Elks, of all people, they were trying to kick out their exalted ruler, which is the president, because he was black, he was Muslim, and he was married to a white woman. And Muslims have, I'm not defending Muslims or anything like that. But whenever it's a religious group, the Elks. And whenever we had to say prayers, they're Christian prayers. And even though this man was Muslim, he was the chaplain and he read the Christian prayers. Okay. And these Elks members were trying to get him kicked out because he was black and married to a white woman. And I defended the guy. I lost a lot. I was way up here in the Elks. I was going to go national, and I lost a lot of credit for sticking up for these people. And we became close friends. I would go to their house all the time up in San Francisco, and I found out that their dad was buried maybe 10 feet from my dad in the Air Force section of the cemetery in Lompoc, California. So every time I would go visit my dad in the cemetery, I would go and put flowers on my dad's grave and their dad's grave. And I'd even talk to their dad a little bit. Then after January 6th, I sent her a picture like I always do. Look, I put some flowers on your dad's grave today. And this woman says, I can't believe a racist piece of shit like you would put flowers on my dad's grave, you piss boy. And I was like, you need to stop watching CNN. And she's like, I can't believe I let you in my house. And I'm like, I'm such a racist person that we are friends and you're married to a black man. And I'm more friends with the black dude than I am with you, but I'm a racist piece of shit. And that's just how Democrats are. They don't believe real life. They'll only believe what people tell them. And it's just disgusting.
Yes, yeah. The old saying is fuck your feelings. Facts are facts.
Yeah.
I like what Sage put, and that's right. It was a pediatrician that said that.
A pediatrician said fuck your feelings?
No, a pediatrician said that it was that the little white girls got what they deserved because their parents voted for Trump.
Yeah.
So this is a person that had enough smarts to become a doctor, right?
Yeah.
But doesn't have the common sense to realize what she's saying when she says that. How do they get to that point? Holy sheep shit to quaint Chong.
And they're supposed to be the people that we're the people that care about others. That's why we take care of illegal, or was it immigrants, as they say it, because we care.
Hippocratic oath, unless you voted for Trump, and then
You know what? I saw it. I was looking at X today, and I didn't share it. Oh, here it is, right here. This woman. This is it. Let's watch it.
I mean, yes.
Now, I don't think this lady should be getting any credit. We shouldn't be sharing her video, but I'm going to show it just so you can show how demonic these people are.
Just chit-chatting a video. I mean, I don't understand all this, extraordinary hate or whatever. Like, I get that white people are not used to people telling them and calling them out on their racism and telling them about their double standards and how you wouldn't give a damn about other children and how there's children in ICE detention right now who y'all don't give two fucks about. There's no prayers going up for them. But we're supposed to stop the world and stop everything we're doing to go and hunt for these little missing white girls.
I mean, just listen to this woman. Double standards. You're racist. They say black people can't be racist. Black people can be racist. Let's be real here.
Let's tell it like it really is.
I think, black people and Mexican people are probably more racist than you even close to know. Like, I grew up in the Mexican neighborhood here in California. And all the daughters, every time they get mad at their dad and they be like, you don't like my boyfriend? Well, guess what? Next time I'm going to bring home a black man. And oh my God, you're not getting let the fuck out. They're very racist. It's just insane. They can call us crackers, but if we say one thing wrong to them, like on a post today, they were talking about the illegal aliens, right? And I said nothing bad to this woman. I just said, we shouldn't pay to teach these people how to learn English. They come to this country, they should learn English on their own or pay for themselves to learn English. And the first thing she said was, you white hillbilly, blah, blah, blah. So I responded, I'm like, you know what? F you, I'm not paying for you illegals that all you want to do is get something for free. And next thing you know, I'm the racist because I said all this stuff. And I'm like, What about, I was nice until the woman started calling me names. It's the
You know,
double
Eddie,
standard.
I mean, all of this, to me, all of this started back in 2020, the summer of love, but everybody was a racist. Everybody was a Nazi. Now it falls on deaf ears. It carries no meaning anymore. It has no worth. Everybody's a race. When everybody becomes racist, nobody is. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So it doesn't have any value now to call someone racist or call them Nazi. Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't carry any weight. It doesn't carry any weight.
Well, I don't know if they teach this story anymore, but when I was younger, it was the boy who cried wolf, right?
Yeah.
And for those of you that have never heard about the boy who cried wolf, when the kid comes running into town, hey, there's a wolf out there. There's a wolf out there. There was no wolf. He just wanted some attention,
Oh, is
right?
that the story where the little black boy ran around the tree so fast he turned into butter? Oh, that was no.
Man, I never heard that before. I don't know why I'm laughing. I don't even get it, but it
You
just
don't know,
sounds funny.
sir. You don't know what book? Little
No,
Black Sambo. Come on, man.
I don't. But it just sounds funny.
You didn't know that? That's the book. That's what happened to little Black Sambo. It ran around the tree so fast turned into butter.
Little Black
Okay.
Sand Boy.
Google Sambo.
Oh,
SAMB.
oh, here we go. The story of Little Black Sambo.
Yes.
It's for the
What's it
1935, based on the book. Is a children's book written and illustrated by blah blah blah. The story was popular for more than half a century. The plot: Sambo is a South Indian boy who lives with his father and mother, named Black Jumbo and Black Mumbo, respectively. Is that where Black Mumbo comes from? While out
Yeah.
walking, Sambo encounters 4 hungry tigers, and he surrenders his colorful new clothes, shoes, and an umbrella so that they will not eat him. The tigers are vain, and each thinks that is better dressed up than the others. They have a big argument and chase him around the tree until they are reduced to a pool of ghee, which is clarified butter. That's a new word, ghee.
Ghee. Oh my
Clarified
God,
butter.
that's Pamela's last name. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know what her last name is. Let's see. Jay Spray says, I'll be the first to claim being a racist because I have feelings towards people dealing with natural disaster. Everybody has a little bit of racism in them from one way or the other. Let's be real here. And some things make it worse. With everything that's been going on lately, I've become a little more racist, yes. I'm not going to lie. I mean, think about it. I have a friend who was an actor in Hollywood. He taught Tom Hanks how to speak for The Green Mile. He's been in a lot of movies. And he was told recently, I can no longer be your agent because we don't hire white people anymore. Every video you watch now has to have black people in it. Every relationship in a TV show has to have a black person and a white person dating. And I know why. I'm going to tell you why if you don't want to know why. If you watch all these videos, folks, of the future, everybody looks the same. Everybody dresses the same. Because that's what Democrats want. They want everybody to look the same, dress the same, because they'll all think the same. And they'll all vote their way. And that's a disgusting world, if you ask me. It's boring.
So Pam said, don't make me come down there and startle you some more, girl. You know what she did to startle me, don't you?
No, what did she do? What did Pam do to startle you?
No, I can't say.
Oh, you can't say?
Oh, no.
Okay, hey, we got another campaign we can do. Let's do Rumble Premium. And I appreciate all you guys that are staying here from Jeff Mack. I hope you're enjoying the show. Oh, it doesn't match the settings. Something's going wrong. Hold on, let me do a little refresh here. Maybe my 20 minutes isn't up yet.
I can't believe they're still here either. Every one of them obviously needs a psychological evaluation.
Yep, they do. Oh, I guess it's not going to let me do it. It's not going to let me do a commercial. Well, never mind. Let me try one more time. One more time we'll try. There it goes. This sponsorship is from Rumble, one that's incredibly important to the survival of the company. When Rumble first started in 2013, they built the platform for the small little creator like me. They didn't censor or have biases. They were fair and treated all creators equally. No one thought platforms would censor political conversation or censor the opinions on COVID, but they sure did. Facebook admitted they fell to the pressure from the Biden-Harris administration. Rumble did not. They held the line, and they're attacked daily for giving us a voice to talk to you. They're attacked in corporate media, they're attacked by governments like France, and they're attacked from brand advertisers who refuse to work with them. Corporate America is fighting to remove free speech. Rumble is fighting to keep it. Rumble won't survive with brand advertisers because they just don't get much of it. Watching our show on Rumble is the most they can ask from you. But if you really believe in this fight and if you have the means, one major way you can help Rumble survive is by joining Rumble Premium. Join the community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in our human right to free speech. Rumble is now offering $10 off with promo code STUDIO when you purchase an annual subscription. So go to rumble.com/premium and use that promo code STUDIO. Like I said, if you have the means and believe in the cause, now's the time to join Rumble Studio Premium. If you don't have the means, well, we're just happy that you watch us on Rumble and hit that like button. Thank you guys. I try and do the commercials as fast as I can because I don't like commercials, but you know what? It helps pay for the show.
Yeah, that's right. And it gives us all a chance to go pee.
Yeah, there you go. Cindy says, I know I need mental health help. I stayed for the Nakedness Man show.
No, evidently, the naked man is stuck
there
in
you
her
go.
head.
There's your naked man. Oh my gosh.
So, Eddie, here's what you might do, because there's like, everybody in here is all more or less like family. I know we have some new people from Jeff Max.
Yeah.
Drop the Discord link, but anyone that's never ever been on Discord voice before, come up and just say hi and have a good time, be a part of the show. Don't have to be on camera, you know. Don't have to give your name, don't have to say where you live. We would like to know if you're married and your measurements if you're female, but other than that,
of course.
I'm kidding.
So this is going to be our actual. This is going to be the actual Discord. Oh wait, I'm in private mode. Hold on, here. This is our actual Discord. Yes, I think you got to sign up. I think you got to log into our Discord before you can actually join it. So that is the.
I think so.
The one I just shared is the actual Discord. To join my Discord, and the next one I'm going to give you is the one to join us here in this Discord voice chat. Like you see, Graz not putting his face on camera because he's too pretty to be on the camera.
I can't wait till tomorrow. I get better looking every day.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And now the one that I'm going to put up right this second now. Hold on. Too many screens open. Too many screens.
Zero says, not another Discord. No.
Yeah. I know. I hate Discord. I get, people send me messages in Discord, and I just ignore it most of the time. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, thanks a lot.
Well, except for and like Pam just sent us something. Hold on, let's see what Pam sent us in Discord.
Oh no! Oh gosh!
Hold on. Oh no, it's nothing bad. It's nothing bad. She is showing us that there's a pot of gold somewhere near her because this is the golden rainbow outside of her front porch or her back porch or whatever porch this is.
So my feed Dime X says I've never been on Discord.
See, you don't want to be. You don't want.
Yeah, that's.
And Jay Sprays keeps calling you Lewis Black. He's like, "Is this the Lewis Black show?" He said a long time ago. So I was wondering if he was talking about you or me, but now I know for sure. He's like, "Gross, Lewis Black."
So who is Lewis Black?
He's a comedian. He's a comedian. You
really?
Yeah. Let's see. Lewis Black.
Never heard of him.
Oh, I've heard of him. You've probably seen him and just don't even.
Or
not? From what I remember, yeah, he's pretty funny.
Okay, well, all right.
Here's a clip.
And this is redundant for this audience to sat through literally 19 hours of performance at this point. Boats come in, not far away, right next to the fucking pier. If I could move the cameras, I'd show you. People sitting to the far left of me, and the stage left, could actually stand up and spit on the boat. Those boats, and then little boats, and then boats that just play music for no.
I don't know. I don't remember how funny he is or not, but that's a little bit of it.
I had never seen or heard of that guy
Really?
at all.
Yeah, he's a decently famous comedian.
I'll be damned.
But you know me, I've done too many drugs and alcohol in my life. I can't remember if he's funny or not. Honest with you. Let's see. Japan bends the knee on trade talks as Trump's tariff threat works. His tariff threats are working great. Let's just start off by saying that the money that he's brought in is just insane. I'm so happy about it. Cindy says, I'm not married. I'm 389 pounds, 3'9", flat head, bushy eyebrows, buck tooth, wart on the end of my nose, and I do not have seen lips. So, she is, she's got a broom to go along with it, I'm guessing. Guessing she's got a broom there.
Do not have sexy lips, she said. God,
Oh,
my
sexy.
Kind of woman.
There we go. It is, you know,
Yeah, so
your girlfriend's in the chat, Grosh. Shh.
I know there's enough there for both of us. So.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is.
400,
as long as
439 pounds.
As long
is that
as you're
soaking wet, or?
As long as you're not a Democrat. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then all bets are on. That's a deal breaker there. Sorry.
And you know, I'm going to tell you, I got married before I was in the politics, and I married a liberal. And oh my goodness, once I became political, the conversations that, or I should say, the fights that we had. Oh my goodness. It got so bad, you know, she was talking about how she's pro-abortion. And then the next day she's like, so when are we going to have a kid? I'm like, I'm not having a kid with you. So well, why not? You're pro-abortion. How do I know you're not going to get pissed off at me at one point and then just get rid of the kid? I said, no way in hell will I ever have a kid with you. Well, I'm not pro-abortion for me. You know?
Yeah.
Don't get it. Yeah, Cindy is she's a Republican. But the only, you know what the issue I have with Cindy? She's a fan of AC. She watches AC show all the time. You know,
okay.
That little crippled motherfucker. Oh, I mean, I'm surprised he's not in here. Normally he comes in and starts chatting it up with us.
That's the thing about AC. He has a leg up on you, so.
Yeah, he does. He definitely. No, I have a leg up on him.
Oh, that's right. You do.
Yeah, he's short a leg. I have the extra. I can't use my leg, but at least I have one.
Yeah. God damn it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, Lord.
Hey, if you can't make fun of the issues you've been given in life, then you're just, you know, you're wasting your life.
That's what I tried to explain to Pam.
You can't be pissed off about everything that somebody talks about you or says about you.
Any high bids for grad? I'll take what? I'll take them. Maybe.
I'll put in $1 bid. I'll get a start at $1.
I did. Okay. Yeah, with super chats. It's got to be a super chat.
There you go.
Oh no, you're in Rumble.
No, I can get. There's actually a way to do super chats in Rumble now, I think.
Oh.
Best of luck to you. I believe an old school librarian, but nowadays they steal everything. Yes. Especially, whatever you do, folks, don't get married in a state where everything is 50-50. I had to pay for my house twice.
So I put all of my stuff in my little brother's name, so in case I got divorced, my wife wouldn't get my stuff, right? And
your little brother
and my little brother got divorced, and my sister-in-law got half my shit.
Is that real? Is that a real story?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say, holy shit.
It sounds like it could happen, though, huh?
Oh, it definitely sounds like it could happen. Well, especially here in California.
Somebody once told me, said, "Grow, sometimes I can't tell the stories you tell. Some of them could be possible, you know."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I know.
But I mean, it's just insane how that works, you know. But you know, you're married. Everything's supposed to be equal, but they're never not. They're never not.
Oh. So Jay Spray said libertarian. I thought he said librarian.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Libertarians. Oh, when your mix doesn't work. No, we love Cindy. You know what? I tried to get. I hate spell check because it kept changing words on me, and then I got rid of it for about an hour. I realized how bad I spell, and I had to put it back on because it was worse than the shit
Oh
it
my
was putting
God,
in.
yeah. Everyone has to learn how to read typobonics,
Oh yeah, what's up, monster? On Donnie's? Yes. Oh man, we're at Vaughn's yesterday, and this how people wait in line to pet him, right? And so this lady's petting him, and she's like, "What's his name?" And I'm like, "His name is Donald J. Trump, ma'am." And all of a sudden, half the line walked away. They didn't want to pet him anymore.
See, I love that. I love that.
That or if I see people wearing masks and they want to pet them, and I'll tell them, I'm sorry, I don't know what sickness you got. You're wearing a mask, so I'm not gonna let you pet them. I'm not sick. I'm trying to stay safe. Well, he doesn't let Democrats pet him either. Sorry.
That's right. Or librarians.
Or librarians, yeah. He's got his allergies going on right now, though, is the issue.
Oh.
And what's funny is the only medicine that you can give dogs and most of the time humans for allergies, it knocks you out. So he refuses to take it. So there's nothing I can do for his allergies. Huh.
See now, Jay Spray, I totally agree with that. Phones are making us dumber.
They are.
Nobody knows how to spell anymore. Nobody knows how to add. Nobody knows how to do long division. Nobody.
Oh.
Yeah.
Didn't they stop teaching cursive now too?
Yeah. Cursive is the new Morse code. Kids won't understand. What the hell is that? You say,
You want another treat? You've had like 10 treats today.
It's like setting them in front of a rotary dial telephone. They start trying to poke button things.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That or I bet you they don't even know how to read a real clock anymore.
No. What the hell's that? Yeah.
Right?
What's it?
One of these days I gotta go down to Fresno State and I gotta tell give out a prize and just see how many people can actually write in cursive, how many people can read an undigital clock, an analog clock.
Yeah.
And then the biggest one is if you don't want your car stolen, just buy a stick shift. Nobody can drive them anymore.
Yeah, get you a 4-speed, 4 on the floor. Yeah.
There you go. That's even better.
Give if your bill is 77 cents, give them $1.02 and watch their fucking head explode.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I still remember, sir, you gave me too much money. I just want a 5 back. But sir, you gave me too much money. I'm like, no, I didn't. I don't want a whole bunch of $1 bills. Give me a $5 bill. And then they still gave me 5 $1 bills back.
So what I've done before when they do that to me, because they give you like $4.88, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And change. I'm like, no, you got it wrong. I gave you that. I want a $5 bill. And they're like, so they give you a $5 bill. I'm like, all right, I made $5.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're teaching in schools anymore. Well, I do know what they're teaching. They're teaching kids how to be gay and how to be transgender and how to be idiots. Liberals. Cindy says, I can read a clock, but I was born in the 1900s. Yeah. Let's see. Those Hodge twins, I think a lot of people would accept it if they told us that a lot of the evidence was destroyed by malicious actors in the FBI and DOJ, and that they would launch investigations to get who did it. But instead, they just keep piling on the lies. All the credibility is gone. Do you think that they're losing all the credibility?
Absolutely. That falls right in line with the J6 committee,
Yeah.
whatever the hell they was called. And they're like, oh, well, we destroyed all the evidence.
Yeah.
No, I call bullshit.
The minute President Trump won the election, shredders were going like crazy, or fires or something.
Yes.
Jordan Crowder. I don't know. I've never heard of Jordan Crowder. They know what they did is bullshit. So why would they blatantly lie and ruin their credibility? It's all about manipulating reality. The history books and AI will use this data. It's just insane. I mean, how many times nowadays? I used to be a plumber, and on Facebook, I get a lot of these plumbing posts, and I'm like, no plumber in the world would take a picture of this kind of plumbing work and show it off. And then one day, yesterday on the bottom, it said another AI trick to get us to comment on this, and I started realizing, like, holy shit, this is AI. It is AI, and now all of a sudden, me, I like redheads, so they keep showing me redheads, and the most things they've been showing me lately is redheads breastfeeding. For some reason, somehow that's all right on Facebook, right? And I'm like, there's no way in hell there's this many women going and breastfeeding on camera. It's got to be AI, but you can't tell. Can't tell.
Exactly. Your mama says I had to teach my 26-year-old son how to read an analog clock, write cursive, do math, and drive because public school system didn't.
It's so true. It's so true.
But you could bet your sweet ass he knows how to underwater basket weave.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's just so interesting what they're teaching these kids in school, and they just can't do anything anymore. They can't do anything. I went, and public schools are bad. You can go to a Catholic school, but who can afford to send their kid to a Catholic school or a private school? But I had an idea. I have an idea for a school, and if anybody wants to take this, please take my idea because I can't afford to do it, and I don't have the ability to do it. I think we should now have these private schools. Now that kids can decide, or parents can decide where their kids go to school, we need private schools, and we can call them the conservative school or something, where they learn conservative stuff. You're not getting taught how to become gay and lesbians and transgender and all this stuff. And I think every single classroom and every building in that school should have a camera. And I understand people are going to say, yeah, but what if the pedophiles get a hold of it? And so my next thing is, well, you know what? Every time you want to watch the video, you get an email or a text message saying, hey, you logged in. Are you the one watching or we're just letting you know you logged in to watch this camera. But then people are going to start turning off those notifications too, right? So it's hard to get around, but I think every class should have a camera in there so parents can see when your kid's messing up, and they can see when the teachers are messing up your kids. Oh, thank you, Zero Rugrats. No, everything isn't equal. It's my house. It's in my name. I bought it. Hubby lives here. I'm a she, but hubby is 100% beneficiary of everything. We split the cost. I'm his fifth wife, and he's my third hubby. That's awesome. Congratulations on finding the right person. I've been married twice now. I've been married twice.
Hard to do.
Didn't work out either time. And thank you for that donation. I really appreciate that. That helps us. And here's another thing that just popped in my head. You see, everybody's fighting right now. The Hodge twins are fighting with Cat Turd. All these people on X, they're all conservative, but they're fighting against each other. What if this
Tucker Carlson? Tucker Carlson's fighting with Mark Levin.
There you go.
And Alex Jones is fighting with who? A lot of his people. What the hell?
I think that the liberals are doing something to make us all fight.
Sure, man. We all got it. Man, if we can't figure out how to stick together on our side, we are screwed.
We are definitely, and that's what they're going for. That's their whole plan. That's their whole entire plan, and and we're falling for it. That's the problem.
And I'm going to say it again. And if Hope was here, she would say, "There's Graw with his mass formation psychosis comment." But that's what it is, bro. That's what it is. It's freaking mass formation psychosis.
It is. It is.
Look it up.
Well, let's look it up.
Okay. Yeah. See if it gives you the basic definition.
Psychosis.
Mass formation. Psychosis. Psychosis.
Mass formation psychosis is a theory, not a recognized mental health diagnosis, that suggests a large group of people can become intensely focused on a specific narrative or idea, leading to irrational behavior and a loss of critical thinking. Oh, that's 100% happening right now. That's
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
100% happening right now. I saw something.
You're welcome.
I saw something on X, and it had something to do with that. Too about. My gosh, I can't remember what it was, but it was something on that basis where we're focusing on one thing and not looking at the big picture.
Exactly. That's how they divert us from the truth.
Yes, you know.
And it happens on both sides. It happens on the right, it happens on the left, both. Somewhere in the middle is the truth.
And Zero Rugrats is right. She's like, the Dems are good at sticking together. They are. You don't see them fighting back and forth. There's
Yeah.
no infighting over
Yeah,
there.
that's the Republicans. The Republic. That's exactly right. The Republicans cannot get it together.
Catch you later, Jay Sprays. He says later, hooligans. Catch you later. Thanks for showing up. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for popping in. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I gotta text J Mac and thank him.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Texas mother praises brave camp counselors who saved her sons from absolutely devastating floods. God bless them. God bless them. And so here's part of the Hodge twins. The people that called us traitors and fake MAGA for being anti-war sure are mad at Trump administration over the Epstein list. Do we get to call them traitors now? Did you vote to fund the war and send more weapons to Ukraine? No, I sure the hell did not. 3.9% said yes. They're probably Democrats. Probably Democrats.
Yeah, Cindy's right. Cindy nailed it right there. Republicans don't know how to win either. They don't know how to finish the freaking race.
No.
They're coming out of turn 4, and what do they want to do? Let off the gas, hit the brakes. No, floor it.
And they don't want to, they don't want to play dirty. Sometimes you got to play freaking dirty. You really do.
Fight fire. You got to fight fire with the flamethrower.
What did Zuni say? We will release the Epstein list, putting on the clown makeup. We just need more time, a little more clown makeup. The Epstein list is on my desk, and now there's no Epstein list. It's the clown show. It's the clown
there's no desk. Where is this desk?
That desk? Yeah. Pam Bondi needs to do a press conference now, says Nick Sorter. The new Superman film is a flop. Of course. It sucks. I grew up, I wanted to be a filmmaker. I loved films. My best friend and I, we would rent videos every single day, and we'd cap the call and see which one we had less of a return fee owed to figure out which place we're going to rent movies. Now, I love watching movies still, but I hate watching it because they're all liberal. They're just pushing their liberal agenda.
Yeah, you can't do it. What was it? They come up now, the new, I forget what it is, but it had to be a black gay girl. What? And I can't even remember because it happens to all of them so often now. I can't even keep track of which one they're redoing.
Yeah, I think one of the first ones where it started out was where they all of a sudden they had to do Little Orphan Andy. No, it was Little Orphan Annie. It had to be a black Little Orphan Annie.
Yeah, then they did Sleeping Beauty.
Then they did Sleeping Beauty.
Then Cinderella.
Then the Ghostbusters. I mean,
I forget what the newest one is. Somebody in chat will know. I guarantee it.
Oh, it's probably a Disney movie, right?
I'm not sure. I think so.
But
they had the little girl on The View or one of those shows.
Yeah, remember when Drunk Uncle and I were joking about how we're gonna do a new Roots and it's all gonna be white people?
Oh, we could do that.
Oh man,
I have to get my white sheet out of the cleaners.
Oh yeah, definitely. Sky star Angel Reese rips WNBA officials after loss to the Lynx. I'm tired of it. Do you know who Angel Reese is?
No.
Well, of course you don't, because she plays for the WNBA. She
I do.
All mad because all of a sudden Caitlin Clark came out and she's a white girl. And how dare white people come play basketball and do better than us?
Well, see now, okay, but I think since she made that comment, unless this is a different one of them came out against the tall white chick, but then she recanted. She took it back. She's like, we can't keep doing this. So she kind of she kind of came back and more or less apologized,
Oh,
but
did
didn't
she?
she didn't say I'm sorry. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But she kind of a liberal apology. That's about as good as you're going to get. So
Well, it's just like Caitlin Clark herself was like, well, it's so hard being a black woman. And I'm so proud of these black women for being able to play basket. It's like, really? Knock
yeah,
it off.
I know that's hilarious. Whoa, what you telling me? It's mostly black people that are good at basketball. What are the
Yeah.
fucking odds of that?
It's just insane. And that really, as y'all know, I'm disabled, right? I hate it when people say, "Oh, I can't believe you are plumbers. I'm so proud of you for being a plumber when you're disabled." Don't tell me that shit. That pisses me off. I don't need.
Yeah,
I don't want to feel. You're separating me. You're putting me in a different category as other plumbers. I'm not a crippled plumber. I'm a plumber. Just call me a fucking plumber. And I think that's the problem with nowadays. Oh, look, she's the first black woman to be in Congress, or she's the first black woman to. No, just say she's the first woman to do this, or first whatever. Stop making it about race, and that's what's making us more racist in this
yeah, they
time.
can't do it. They just can't do it. They can't do it.
You know, I mean, my stepdad's 91 years old now, or he's gonna turn 91 in a couple of days, and they always make fun of saying, "Oh, people are getting more, or, old people are racist." He was never racist before, but now all of a sudden, with all this stuff, he's becoming pretty damn racist.
Hello, hello, hello. You're talking to him right here.
Yeah,
Yeah, ask Pam. We were talking about that. I told her when I was growing up, I had no idea what race. I thought racism was what you did at the dirt track on a Saturday night. Yeah, I'm racing my old Chevrolet. I had no idea. It wasn't even a thing. Wasn't
yeah,
even in my vocabulary.
yeah. It's the same. Zero says, "Why do black people have better athletic abilities than white people?" Well, it's all the Darwinism stuff. When you're in Africa and you got to run from freaking lions and tigers and stuff like that, I think, you know, your body adapts to make you stronger in that
Yeah.
respect.
But then I got a little bit older. I got in my teenage years or whatever, and
Uh-huh.
it was just routine to this this and inward that, and it was just it nowadays. Oh my God, it's just you can't even do that. But
Yeah.
back then, it was like you told inward jokes. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? We're,
Yeah.
we're like Pollock jokes. Oh, you can't do that. But look at Sanford and Son. So that's how it was then. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. This is a different
But not
culture.
now. Oh my God, you can't even go near it now. Forget about it.
Yeah, I was at a friend's house up in Reading one time, and he's like, "Ed, you got to meet my next door neighbor. He's really cool. He's funny." So he played for the Rams, and he was also he was a boxer, but he wasn't good at it. So he was just a sparring partner for, I think, for Joe Frazier or something like that, right?
Oh wow.
This is an old guy, right? And so him and his son come over, and they're like, "Hey, let's go party. Eddie, you like rap music and stuff. Why don't you go to the club with us?" And so I'm like, "Sure, let's go." We're driving down the middle of Reading, and some white people pull up next to us. They look over and they hit their locks real quick, right? So we're like, we hit the locks. We're like, "Watch out! There's white people over there," kind of joking like that. But then this guy got really straight up with me, an old black dude. He's like, Eddie, he's like, there's black people like me that work hard. They do everything they can to get better in life, and they do the right thing. Then there's those, and he used the N word. He said, then there's the N word that just ruin it for
Yeah,
all the rest of us black people.
absolutely.
You
They
know?
gotta clean up their backyard before they start telling me how to when to mow mine.
Yeah.
You know.
And white people have
That
it too. We got our white trailer park trash. Mexicans have their bad people. Every culture has bad people in it. You
Yeah.
know?
I told Pam this story. I was driving a delivery truck back. I had the business. Pulled in this gas station. There's no black man sitting in a gas station, sitting behind the pay window. I pulled up my truck. I go, "Hey, what would be the best way to get over on the other side of town from here?"
Hmm.
Because I wasn't sure which way the closest bridge was. He goes, "I'd drive that truck you're in if I was you."
Wait, what did he say? You cut out.
I said, what's the best way to get from here to the other side of town?
Mhm.
He goes, I'd drive that truck you're sitting in if I was you.
Sounds like it definitely
And
sounds
I
like a
said,
garage joke.
true story. And I said, well, you're kind of funny for an old fart or something like that.
Uh-huh.
I said, have you lived here all your life? He goes, not yet.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm leaving. I just took off.
Who's Jessica Tarloff? Jessica Tarloff is now claiming that illegal immigrants are being sexually assaulted by detention facility workers.
So she's the little girl on the 5, she's the liberal on the 5.
Oh,
Married
okay.
to a Russian. She's married to a Russian dude.
Yeah. You know, that the other like over the last week or so, I keep seeing all these posts where first I saw one person saying, "Oh yeah, Trump is just they're dropping off illegal immigrants, even though we call them aliens. They're just dropping them off in the middle of the ocean and just letting them die, and they're coming up to sea, and we're finding them on the beaches." And then another person shared it, and another person said it, and all these different people are saying it now, and people are really actually believing this stuff. And I'm thinking in my head, like, okay, if dead people were rolling up on the beach, it's the summertime. There's a lot of people at the beach. You're telling me nobody's got a video camera out there and recording these people rolling up on the beach dead?
What's the old joke? Where do illegal aliens go to wash up? The beach.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
That was the joke during the Cuban invasion in 1984 in Miami. Where did Cubans go to wash up? Where did Cubans go to wash up? Miami Beach.
And so here it is, former CIA officer.
Oh my God, racist! That's a racist joke. Holy crap!
Oh, we're gonna get kicked off of YouTube now. We're gonna get kicked off of YouTube.
Can't tell those jokes.
Former CIA officer says deep state probably destroyed the Epstein files a long time ago. Well, then why did they say they had it? Why did they say they had it? Don't forget the handcuff. Yeah, they were handcuffed too. I forgot. Oh yeah, they were handcuffed and dropped in the middle of the ocean.
Oh, jeez, God, man.
Yeah, it's just insane.
So there was the big black cop that goes to all the liberal. I forget Pam knows his name. What's the cop's name we watched?
From
the
DC?
other day? He's talking.
Bird. Is it Bird? No.
No, not the cop. Not the Capitol Hill cop. This is the guy that goes to all the little riots or whatever they call. He asked this one kid. He goes, "So." He said, "So cops are killing black people in America. How many do you think were killed last year?"
Tatum.
And he goes,
Tatum.
He said, "Yes, yeah, Officer Tatum." The kid goes, "Oh, probably 90,000." Tatum goes, "So you think there was 90,000 people, unarmed black people, 90,000 were killed last year?" He looked it up, and it was like 27.
Yeah.
And the other girl, there's a girl standing beside this kid going with the mask on. "Well, that's still 27 people. What about those 27 people?" I'm like, he's like, "It's not 90,000. Holy crap."
Yeah. Yeah, I like Officer Tatum. He's actually, I like him a lot. He's part of TP. Stuff. He's part of TP USA, right? Yeah, it is. See, Pam says, yeah, it's Officer Tatum. All right, Zero Rugrats, thank you for stopping by. We appreciate it. Hopefully you come back for more. We do this every single night at 6, every weeknight at 6 o'clock, and sometimes other times. It all depends.
6 o'clock West Coast.
Oh yeah, it's West Coast time because I live in California. For now, I've been looking up properties in Oklahoma, so that way, whenever Graw pisses me off, I can drive an hour or two and go mess with them.
And I've been looking at property everywhere else but Oklahoma. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, Eddie's coming to Oklahoma. We're moving the hell out of here, man.
I'm moving. Pack your shit and let's go.
That's why Graw's getting an RV. Hey, Willow, how you doing, my friend? Willow's here. I didn't go live for a couple weeks because of my my leg issues and stuff, and she was the first one that came back. So I love Willow.
You finally got that penis reduction surgery for the second time?
Oh, I asked them if they could double it in size, so they made it 4 inches now.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know, my proctologist, I told him I wanted a second opinion. He used 2 fingers.
Yeah. Good night, Cindy. Thank you. Tell AC I said hi when you see him tomorrow.
Yeah, tell AC we all said fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Pam was cut. Did I tell you Pam was cutting my hair? And she goes, she said, "How do you want your hair cut?" And I said, I don't care. Just make me look good. And she started drinking.
Oh, have you ever seen that? I think it's the Heineken commercial. Let's see. It's a beer commercial. Every time he takes a drink, she gets better looking.
Oh yes.
It's an oldie but a goodie. Here it is.
Yeah.
It's from Denmark. Actually, that girl's kind of cute. She might be a redhead. This is probably one of the funniest commercials I've ever seen. Oh yeah, she's gorgeous. I'm the one having to give the girls the beers though.
So yeah, I was going to say. So you know, the old remind me of a joke. What the difference between a dog and a fox?
What's the difference between a dog and a fox? I don't know.
A 6-pack.
A 6-pack. Oh my goodness! Yeah, people got to actually. People have to drink a whole case of beer. Like me.
Yeah. Welcome to Dad Joke Monday night here at the Eddie Block Film Festival.
Yeah, next we got to get Goofy on here because then we're gonna have all the fart jokes.
Oh my God!
Goofy loves her fart jokes. Let's see.
She is a fart.
Yeah, she is, but she's a fun fart.
Oh yeah.
Roger Stone.
She's a tall.
Yeah,
now, if we could get Goofy and Hope both in here, and if they both had a child, it would be of average height.
Probably, but I don't know how Hope and Goofy could have a kid together.
I don't know, but I would like to watch and find out how.
Yeah, that would be interesting. That would be interesting.
Or maybe not. That didn't sound right, did it? Okay.
No. Yeah, where is Hope tonight? She texted us earlier. So Enrique Tarda says, I haven't verified if this screenie is from a download, but head count as of 9 p.m. No one is outside their cell at that time. What's this all about? Anyone entering or attempting to enter the tier where Epstein's cell was located from the SHU common area would have been captured by this footage. The FBI's independent review of this footage confirmed that from the time Epstein was locked in his cell at around 10:40 p.m. on August 9, 2019, until around 6:30 a.m. the next morning, nobody entered any of their tiers. It just doesn't make sense. Somebody dies and just mysteriously the camera stopped working that night? I don't know.
Yeah, and both guards happened to fall asleep at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Pam's blocking me again.
Oh, Pam's blocking you again? If I had a penny for every time she blocked you, I'd be a millionaire by now.
No.
Yeah. What is this? U.S. Attorney Nancy announces attempted murder charges against 10 individuals involved in coordinated attack on ICE officers. Yeah, did you hear about that this morning? I'm surprised there's not enough stuff on that. Somebody went into an ICE facility this morning and was shooting and trying to kill Border Patrol agents, and they were shot and killed.
Down in Texas, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah. It was all over the news this morning, and now I can't find it.
Well, of course not.
I wonder. Let me see. Let's do shirt. Let's do.
Doesn't fit their narrative.
Of course not. Now they got us all talking about the Epstein files, Border Patrol shooting.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find. It was McAllen, Texas. It just said. Breaking news out of the U.S. Border Patrol RGV sector. Ryan Luis Mosquera. He's got a Michigan driver's license. The gunman is now dead after allegedly ambushing Border Patrol agents with a rifle and tactical gear, according to law enforcement officials. And look,
Let's see what happened to him. Oh, he's dead. Oh,
he's
well, son of a
dead.
gun.
He's dead. Now, why do you think this happened? Why do you think this happened? Maybe because the liberals keep saying ICE agents are hurting illegal aliens and stuff like that.
Oh no, the one guy, they had one guy, and I think Pam Bondi they arrested him, filed charges, where he said it's legal. It's legal to shoot ICE agents. It's actually legal. That's what
Wow.
he said. Yeah, I'm sure that's on X somewhere.
Okay. Here, let's just hear what Pam Bondi says about it today, though, real quick. Not Pam Bondi.
Shot in McAllen, Texas, after
the
opening
beautiful
fire on Border Patrol agents.
Caroline.
It comes just days after Democratic Congresswoman Leah Jayapal recently said she gets, quote, inspired when activists obstruct ICE. Does the White House expect Democrats to tone down their rhetoric in light of what we saw today in McAllen, Texas?
We certainly call on Democrats to tone down their rhetoric against ICE and Border Patrol agents who, again, are everyday men and women. I would encourage AOC and other Democrats to actually meet with the United States Border Patrol. These are honorable Americans who are just simply trying to do their job to enforce the law. They go home to their families every night, just like we all do, and they deserve respect.
And yet why don't you show your faces, Border Patrol? Why don't you show your faces, ICE? Well, this is why. So it was a woman that said that, girl? Woman says it's legal to shoot Border Patrol.
No, I think it was a guy. If I remember right.
Okay. Oops, my bad. Oh, I put in woman first. Let's just see if it. Oh yeah. Here it's I don't know if that's a girl or a guy, but
you can just kill ICE agents. You know that? You can just kill them.
There it is.
You don't have to hold your phone in their face and ask people when their birthday is and ask people what their name is and then try to find wherever they end up in Los Angeles. You can kill them. This isn't about social media clout anymore. This isn't about video. This isn't about the phone. This is about get a gun and start killing ICE agents. They are deputized corrections officers. Kill them.
So my question is this a woman or is this a guy?
Yeah, I don't know. Hard to tell.
I don't know. I really don't either.
You probably have to smell its breath to figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know that, girl. I don't. No thank you.
I know.
But yeah, they're a glorified prison guard. You can kill them.
My point is, though, how can they be allowed to say that on the freaking internet and not be a blatant threat?
It is.
When they said kill them, they didn't say maybe, in my opinion, if you want to, you can kill them. They said kill them.
Yeah, Pam says it's a mental patient. You're right. How do they get away with this? And like Kathy Griffin, held Donald Trump's head cut off, right? A mask of it, and nothing happened to her.
It's not the only head she's ever held.
But yeah, I'd agree with that.
Or maybe not. I
don't know. Who knows? Who the heck knows?
I got to go check my lottery tickets. I'll be back.
All right, you do that, and I'm going to do a commercial real quick since I got another one I can do.
I know.
Might as well get these over with.
Come on up to Discord, y'all. Come on. Come on.
Hey, everyone. Tired of paying outrageous prices for your medications while other countries pay a fraction of the cost? President Trump just signed an executive order to fix this problem. But why wait? BlockbusterHealth.com is already offering Americans these savings right now. We're talking up to 80% off the same exact medications you're already taking. Same brand, same quality, just fair prices. Whether it's Ozempic, insulin, and any other prescription, Blockbuster Health connects you directly with licensed pharmacies that offer international pricing, no middlemen, no markup, just honest prices. Call 1-888-350-1353 or visit blockbusterhealth.com. Americans shouldn't have to choose between their health and their wallet. Check it out now. That's interesting. And they mentioned Ozempic. Have you guys, I've thought about it. I'm like, look at, because I lost weight. I lost 50 pounds. And then it took one trip to having a little bit of sugar. and I couldn't stop the addiction. I just kept eating and eating, and I went to the doctor today. I have to go every Monday right now for I have a bad burn on my leg, and I'm back up to where I was when I lost before I lost the 50 pounds. It's just, I started thinking, I'm like, well, man, you know what? If all it takes is me cheating one time, that I'm going to go back and gain all this weight and be stuck in the cravings, then why the hell should I diet? F it, right? So then I was like, well, maybe I should try this Ozempic stuff. Look at Whoopi Goldberg; her fat ass lost weight. So, but now I'm seeing all this stuff. There are so many side effects of this stuff now. It's just insane. Let's look at the side effects. Now they're saying it's causing cancer or something like that. So this ain't job was there. Here's the truth they buried. There's no proof that Ozempic has some unforeseeable side effects that are not well represented in the data. Ozempic isn't a magic solution. It's a serious drug with serious side effects. From vision loss problems to mental health risks, many of the potential side effects are being overlooked or downplayed. Like it also, they're saying now there's a new pill that you're supposed to take with Ozempic so you can poop regularly. Let's see, because I keep seeing the commercials for it. Ozempic problems pooping. Major study of 16 million medical records found Ozempic users had higher risk of pancreatitis, which is the worst kind of cancer you can get, 4 times risk of a bowel obstruction. And I get bowel obstructions at least every month or two. They are not fun. Trust me, you don't want it. 3.7 times the risk of stomach paralysis, 45% increased suicidal ideation. Wow. So it's got gastroparesis, stomach paralysis, bowel obstruction, suicidal thoughts. And you know what's funny is I seen a commercial, and I no lie, there is an antidepressant that may cause suicidal tendencies. Let's see, antidepressant. Depressant that may cause suicidal thoughts. I know it's out there. Oh look, there's Dr. Brian Artist. This guy is cool. I've met him before. He's a cool dude. I forget. There's a commercial about it somewhere. There's a commercial. Right now, I'm gonna have all kinds of help is available. Call 988. I'm gonna get all this stuff. No freaking way. I seen it on Facebook. Works with Ozempic to help bowel issue. Let's see if maybe that's the right way to say it. There's some new little candy. It's a little candy bear. It's an ad for a little bear, little candy. It's a gummy. That's what it is. Gummy. Gummy that works. This is it right here. Wait, no. Where is the gummy? I've seen it on Facebook. Okay, let's go to Facebook. Maybe we can see it on there. It's normally in the commercials all the time. You get those commercials. See if we can find one. Now that I mention it, it's not going to show up, right? The what Panda Bear? Hi, Mama. Gummy. Dope. Ozempic. Ozem gummies. No, that's not it. Ozempic gum suppressant stack. No. It looks like a little bear. Of course, when I want to talk to you guys about it, we can't find it now. Maybe if I go back to Facebook now, they'll show me the commercial. Let's see if we can find it. Hi, Panda Bear. Hi, pretty girl. Now I'm not gonna find it, of course. Nope. Don't you hate it when that happens? Oh, look at the St. Bernards. Great photography. That's a good looking St. Bernard. Of course, we're not going to find it. Oh, well. Oh, well. But yeah, so what do you guys think about these Epstein files? Even Colin Rugg is saying there's something crazy. Justin, former CIA officer John Kiriakou, claims the deep state likely destroyed the Epstein documents long before Kash Patel. We're in trouble. Here's AC. We got AC, and you missed it, AC. Jeff Mack raided us, and we had a whole bunch of people in here earlier. Cindy just left. Your friend Cindy just left. Federal judge pauses Trump administration's Planned Parenthood defunding measure. This is bull. This is, you know what? We should not be funding abortions whatsoever. You know what? If you want to ruin your life and get an abortion and kill somebody, whatever. If you got to do it, you got to do it. But I don't think anybody in this country should be paying for you to get an abortion, because so many people now are using it as a form of prophylactics, right? They're using it as a form of what's the other word? My brain's freezing right now. Anyway, it's a form of birth control, right? It shouldn't be used as a form of birth control. I'm gonna tell my kids this was the Epstein's client list. Yes. Can you imagine how big it is? You know it's there. Something's wrong. Something's going on. Sage Pup, since I'm still here. Yeah, Sage. Thank you, Sage. We appreciate you hanging out. I'm glad you're staying here, Sage Pup. Birth control. Thank you, Pam and Sage Pup. If you guys don't know, I've had over 60 plus operations. I've had to take pain pills all my life, and when I wasn't and I didn't have insurance, I was drinking my pain away, and marijuana. So my brain, I think I'm getting dementia. I'm not gonna lie, but who knows? So I forget stuff all the time. So thank you guys for helping me out. So socialist Texas professor calls for University of Houston to be renamed George Floyd University. Oh my, this is just getting sick. I'm getting sick and tired of this. This is freaking dude was a fentanyl dealer. He dealt drugs. This guy should not be anybody's hero by any means.
They say that your memory is the second thing to go. I forget what the first thing was.
Yeah, I forget too. I forget. It
had George Floyd. How long has he been sober now?
He's been sober for 5 years now, I think. Yeah, 5 years now.
Holy crap, 5 years. Man, that's great.
Yeah, right. And we know he hasn't touched a single drug or alcohol since that.
Yeah, POYB, motherfucker.
Proud of your boy. Thank you, AC. Thank you, AC. Yeah. Oh, man. Alex Jones, Trump backs the leadership of the FBI after the agency does a total 180 on the Epstein investigation. Somebody's got something on somebody. I don't know what it is. Did AC just join us? Is that who just joined us? Let's see. I'm not even.
Well, if it ain't, somebody's wearing his underwear.
Yeah, it's AC. I know that laugh.
You should know that laugh as many times as you heard it. Hello, fellas.
Unfortunately, yeah, I hear it all the time. I know that laugh. AC, you got to turn off your stream, buddy. I'm hearing it in the background. That was Gra. Oh, Gra, how long have you been? Gra's been a co-host of this show like thousands of times.
Oh, shut up. I turned my other phone on.
Why the fuck do you blame me? I do this for a living, pretty much. So I wouldn't do that. I actually turned everything off.
You should know by now. It's never my fault. I have to blame everybody else for everything. It's never my fault. That's the biggest reason why I'm divorced. It was always my wife's fault. Everything was my wife's fault. Oh, the economy's bad. Oh, it's that fucking bitch's fault. Oh, you know why I had to go gamble at the casino? Because you don't put in your equal fair share of us. So I had to go to the casino and gamble, and then I lost all our money. Or, because you're not putting in your fair share of the money, I had to go to the bar and drink all our money away last night. That was me.
Buck snort.
Yep.
Buck snort.
Did I do it or did you do it?
Pam.
Oh, Pam is doing it. Pam says I have CRS2, Eddie. No problem. Can't remember shit. Yeah, look, illegal alien in Australia yells Allahu Akbar before blowing up a vending machine to rob. Why is all of our wars over religion? You ever notice that? Why?
Yeah, more people died in the name of God than anything else.
Yeah, and you know it's funny. So the other day I ordered DoorDash, and this guy, you know, because I didn't feel like going anywhere, and because I knew if I was having a bad day, and that's when I told you, girl, I'm like, man, I really could use a drink today, and so I didn't want to go anywhere, so I ordered DoorDash so I wouldn't put that, you know, possibility. The guy shows up, and first he wants to borrow my Wi-Fi, and I'm like, no, and he's like, okay, just please, thank God, and please, for God's sake, you know, give me a 5-star rating. And I don't know, he's definitely not an American, and he's from some Middle East country, and I'm trying to think, okay, what God are we talking about here? You know, I hope it's not Muhammad. I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, so but it worked because I gave, you know, I felt bad because I wouldn't let him use my Wi-Fi, so I gave him a 5-star rating. I never rate anybody on DoorDash. But I mean, who else to use? Why would I let you use my internet? Would you give DoorDash your internet, girl? Well, I got to take a picture and turn it in.
Yeah, so your phone doesn't have data? What the hell?
Well, where I live, it doesn't. It doesn't.
No. Oh, the DoorDash people don't have data. Oh, you can't get it.
Yeah, there's no like if you have Verizon, you get a little bit of service here. If you have AT&T or what's the pink one? What's the pink one? They don't have service out here at all. So I get it, but I'm not going to let you use my internet.
Right.
You know, there's too many things out there, you know, people that can scam you and get on your computers and steal your stuff, you know. I don't want them seeing all the naked pictures I have on my computer.
Again.
You know, shut up, girl. Fuck you.
I'm sorry, Dilly. If you leave that door open and make it that damn easy on me, Bo.
Yeah.
Just say it.
Oh, and the worst part is I was texting her and I was like, you know, holy shit, I almost just sent this picture to the group text. And then 2 seconds later I sent the picture to the group text on accident.
Yes. Oh my God.
Oh, and
Eddie, you need to watch who you text. You need to watch who you text then.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, David Devine pops on and goes, "You need to end the show, Eddie."
You need to end the stream, Eddie.
Oh.
Hope, no.
No.
Or
shut up, Eddie.
She likes telling me that.
Shut up, Eddie.
See, now Pamela G's laughing, and I'm actually the only one that knows why she's laughing. So should I tell?
Yeah, tell.
I can't. I'll let her tell.
Son of a gun. You know, and so I said, so Pam and Hope is in the group text, and I didn't even think about Pam. The first thing I'm like, holy shit, Hope, I'm calling Hope. Whatever you do, don't open that fucking text, Hope. Just delete it. Just don't open it. And then I get a text message from Pam. You know, Eddie, I've got boys. I've seen enough of those. And I'm just like, son of a bitch.
Of course, I had to go in. I'm not lying. I'm not exaggerating. I looked for like 1/10 of 1,000th of a second, so I just seen what it was and swiped it away like it was a fucking moth.
And what did and Andy was like? Well, I wasn't expecting that.
And then Andy said, "All I see is boobs."
Yeah, all I see is boobs. There you go. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, kid.
Oh, that I was gonna say I don't have that one. That's AC's. That was AC. That was AC's. No, I was at my girlfriend's house and she was out at the grocery store and said, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm taking a bath," and she's like, "Send me a picture." So I did. Unfortunately, I sent it to Pam, Graw, Andy, Hope. Yeah.
And just like that, it went viral, and we had 10,000 viewers.
Yeah, 10,000 viewers of it. Yeah. Yeah, not good.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
What the
They
hell?
all
Yeah.
came from.
What the hell is
Yeah.
this? Here, AC, is this your new
They all came
girlfriend?
All came from Jeff Max too. Like,
Yeah.
woo!
Yeah. Sorry, Jeff Max people. We may be exposing this and stuff. What the hell are we looking at on the screen yet? Is it on your screen yet, Gra?
What is that? Yeah. What is what?
I don't. Hey, also AC, I'm on YouTube still, so be careful. Don't say anything crazy. It says liberal man says there's no way a conservative man would turn him down. Yeah, you're not good looking.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Nope.
No comment. My girlfriend's watching, so I can't say anything. Yeah, I can see.
She says it's another
Yeah,
mental patient.
I agree with Pam.
Another mental patient. Yeah. Spoiler: no one here is buying what they're. I used to. Actually, I was probably just because of how she looked. I used to love Nancy Mason. Now, she's off my list. Just
Same here. Same here. I agree.
When she did that to that gay guy in the store and made a big, huge video about it, he didn't mess with her. She went up to him. Ever since then, it's just gone downhill for her. Just downhill. Marjorie Taylor Greene calls out U.S. leaders. I'm still a big fan of Marjorie Taylor Greene, though. Oh yeah,
sure.
This guy.
MTG is, for all of her faults, she is very much very set in her ways, and she wants the best for America.
She does, but she's also not using it like, Nancy Mason. Now she's turning into the AOC of the Conservative Party, the Republican Party. I think she is.
Yeah. So the little dark-haired CNN girl, what's her name?
Caitlin something. Caitlin Collins.
Yeah, Caitlin Collins. Oh, I call her Hairy Arm.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Never mind. I'm not going to say it. Sage Pup says my young fragile mind. How old are you, Sage? Oh my goodness. Hi, Panda Bear. Hi, sweetheart. He wants a treat. Asa, you're on X like I am. Do you ever watch or see posts from this guy Gunther Eagleman?
Yes.
I used to like him and stuff, and more I'm realizing all he does is post stupid shit just so he'll get likes. He's not any.
I can't, and this is just me. I can't do that. I want to show people the truth.
Yeah.
But I have my own opinions about things going on, believe me. And I made the statement today when I was doing my daily show. If Trump does what Charlie Kirk was talking about, I'm going to lose all respect for Trump.
Really, what's he saying? And by the way, just real quick, Gunther Eagleman, he's just a yes man. He's a follower. He agrees everything President Trump says. It just drives me nuts.
Because there are people around President Trump that want Trump to give amnesty to 25 million illegal aliens.
President Reagan did that, and I think that was one of the worst decisions he could ever have made.
If you want the actual clip, I can send it to you.
Yeah, please. I was looking for it right now.
Yes, I actually have it. I still have it saved.
Right on.
Of all things.
Chip Roy. Chip Roy I'm kind of on and off about, but I like it that he stands on his own convictions,
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too. I like that too.
I don't trust people that agrees with everything. Just you can put it in the chat if you want. I can get it there. Anybody who agrees with 100% of everything President Trump says, I can't trust them, because to me that they're not thinking on their own thoughts.
I'm right there with you, brother.
Okay, so he just sent us this clip. Over here. Let's play it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Pam. I appreciate that.
There you go. Wow, it's a 4
on
minutes
Independence Day on July 4th, signaling a massive legislative accomplishment. Tax cut, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, huge investment in border security. $175 billion for ICE. We're going to talk more about the profundity and the importance of this bill, but it is of great urgent necessity.
Too many things in one
that
bill,
we
if you ask
cover
me.
what is coming next. And yes, we are going to talk about Epstein. We're also going to have live coverage from the awful and the unspeakable tragedy happening in Kerr County and near Hunt, Texas. Just a national tragedy with the flooding issue in Texas. But you would think that, hey, we get $175 billion for ICE. We're going to get mass deportations. We're going to be able to have now the largest deportation effort ever. Yes, in theory, but in practice, there's something else afoot. Literally, the day before President Donald Trump was signing the big, beautiful bill, I got a couple phone calls from people that you would call members of the ruling class. A lot of money and a lot of connections. They said, Charlie, isn't this amazing? We passed the big, beautiful bill. I said, oh, yes, sir. And they said, now we need mass amnesty. What? I said, we haven't even signed the bill yet. They said, yeah, you know, these deportations, we're going to lose the midterms because of the deportations. The people on the right, they'll understand.
No, we won't.
And we need to come to the middle, and we need to legalize the 25 million people here in this country. I was speechless. Because here I am actually thinking, a little naive, we're going to sign this big, beautiful bill, and we're actually going to get mass deportations uninterrupted from an asymmetrical attack. So we have somewhere between 20 to 50 million illegal aliens in this country. We don't actually know the numbers. These are all guesstimates. These are all just approximations.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. You know what I think? You know what I think they should do? You guys are going to like this. I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember, but I know Gra and I are. I remember back in the day, they used to mail out, hey, you've won a free TV to people with warrants out. And then you'd show up to get your free TV, and then they'd arrest you on your warrant. I say, we're going to give amnesty to all the illegal aliens. Why don't you guys just come on down? We'll set you up, and we'll help you we're going to give you your amnesty. You just got to show up in person so we can fill out the paperwork and take your fingerprints and stuff.
It doesn't have to be a TV anymore. You make it a free medical marijuana card. Just come and get it.
There you go.
You don't even have to do marijuana. Just say you're getting a free phone.
No.
Wait until, Eddie, hear me out.
Yeah.
Wait until the new iPhone comes out. You get a free iPhone if you come down.
But we're trying to get the illegal aliens. So I was thinking if you say we're going to give you amnesty, that the illegal aliens would come down.
So while we're on that subject.
Yeah.
For the past 4 years, 21 million of them came across the border. They got a phone. They got a place to stay. And they got a card, right? And they got money. And a lot of them use that app on their phone to come across the border. Mm-hmm. And you can't tell me Tom Homan doesn't have the ability to access anyone that got a phone with their number, anyone that used that app to come across the border, to be able to track where that phone is, where they are. You know damn good and well the phone you got sitting right beside you, if you move it 6 inches, it activates it because it shows them, it relocates on them exactly where you are on the planet. So you can't tell me they use it, but you'll notice they don't ever talk about that, which I'm fine. I'm fine with that. If they got something that works, they're not going to, and that comes under the heading, if it works, they're not going to tell us about it.
Yeah. I mean,
so hopefully that's what's going on.
I don't know how many people, I know you and I have watched 2,000 Mules and probably AC. Remember in 2,000 Mules, they said even if your phone was turned off, they still knew where you were.
That's right. I like what you used to be able to take the battery out. You can't take your battery out anymore.
No battery.
I like what Sage Pup said. come down and get your free bottle of Viagra. Now that is a very good one. That is very good. Nicely done, young man.
Yeah.
Got one of those stuck in my throat now. All day.
You got a stiff neck, huh? Yeah. But no, think about that. If you said, okay, let's have amnesty here, and then it would work for a day or two, and then people would probably figure out what we were doing. But still, how many people, how many illegal aliens do you think we could catch in that first day?
Yeah,
a lot.
I think a lot of them are self-deporting. I think a lot of them are self-deporting because they know
over 1 million.
They don't want to go to Alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah.
They don't want to go there.
Yeah, I see. They said over 1 million so far have self-deported.
Yeah.
And I don't doubt it. I mean, there's the Fresno Bee, which is our local liberal newspaper here, did a story on a woman who self-deported herself. And, heck
Right.
yeah, I love it. Thank you. Thanks for saving us some money.
Remember Eddie, you and I crunched numbers. I told you, I said, so 21 million, let's divide that by 4 years. How many do they need to catch every day in order to be able to get 21 million? I said, even half, I think we did half of them.
Yeah.
And they still had to get like 4,000 a day.
Oh, it was 30,000, wasn't it? Wasn't it 30,000 a day?
Well, no, because I heard today on I think it was on the White House press conference or right around that time, they said since now they have 10,000 new ICE agents, right? And judges that they have to, in order to get 21 million in 4 years, they got to kick out 7,000 a day. So let's say half of them are cool. The other half are criminals. The other half are just people wanting a better life, wanting a sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Half of them. Let's say half of them. That's still 3,500 a day. Well, they're pretty much at that right now. Last month, Tom Holman said they got kicked out over 3,000. So we're on track. We're
getting there. Well, so I just did 25 million divided by 4 divided by 365. Divided by 365, and that number is 17,123. It looks like. So that's
17,000. So like I said, see half of that.
Yeah.
But
still be 8,500. So
yeah,
21 million.
Oh, AC's doing the math on us.
Yeah.
Who the heck is? Yeah, Liz. This woman.
It's 14,300. It's almost 14,400.
Yeah. Well, you did 21 million. I did 25 million
a day.
Yeah.
But if we get seven.
Yes.
1,000 a day. That's still 10, 11 million gone. That'd be 10 or 11 million gone. So I'd be happy with that. I would be happy with 10 or 11 million illegals gone.
So here we
go.
There
was some guy that went in front of some council yesterday. I was watching it, and he was putting out a call that we need to get rid of all of them except for the big booty Latinos. It was the same guy that called out AOC.
Oh, Alex Stein. Alex Stein.
Alex Stein. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now he's going around to all these committees, California. We need to keep the big booty Latinos.
Latinas.
Like, we need Latinas. Oh, that's right.
I don't want to see Latinos because that's dudes.
That's dudes, yeah. Big booty Latinas. Yeah.
Look at this.
They're all like, he's like, I can't say that. No, you can't say that. Yeah, I can. It's free speech. Fuck you.
Right. Look at this. Clown World says, and deliver us from liberal white women. Man.
Eddie, did you talk about what's happening in Mexico?
I don't know what's happening in Mexico, so then no.
They're telling the gringos to go home.
Oh, I've heard about some of that. Yeah, they're forcing the white people to go home.
Yeah, because they're raising rents. They're making it harder for people that actually live there. They want them to speak Spanish.
Uh huh.
I guess they're racist. I guess these people I think Mexicans are a little racist.
Oh, they definitely are. All races are racist. Black people can be racist. Mexican people can be racist. Holy shit! How dare you call a Chinese person a Japanese person and see how racist they come out?
Ooh, man, fighting words.
Oh yeah.
that is fighting words.
Even here we have I grew up near LA and everybody was Mexican. Then when I went up to San Francisco, they're mostly El Salvadorian and from Honduras. If you called them a fucking Mexican, oh my gosh, those were definitely fighting words. Stage Pop says, yeah, Mexico doesn't want the migrants to come through their country. Yeah, once again, though, it's illegal. You got to use the proper term. It's illegal aliens. Illegal aliens. 2 additional arrests were made July 2nd in the significant drug trafficking case we recently reported on involved charges for 24 defendants. I saw they found a big tunnel.
Let's see, what did Steve Miller have to say about Bass? He just went past it.
Stephen Miller says Democratic insurrectionists are inspiring terrorism against ICE. Well, here, we'll play it. It's a short one. But
yes.
There is an insurrectionist movement in the Democratic Party that is inspiring domestic terrorism against ICE. When you have the mayor of Los Angeles mobilizing agitators, mobilizing the mob against ICE, saying that federal law enforcement has to leave her city. This is a settled constitutional question. Federal law is the supreme law of the land. You cannot nullify it. You cannot succeed from it. It is the law of the United States of America. So these insurrectionist Democrats are every day engaging in rhetoric that is incentivizing, that is encouraging, that is fomenting violent terrorist attacks against ICE and ICE officers. Not only in the shootings that you've seen recently, but ICE officers are being doxxed. Their families and children are being threatened. Their addresses are being posted online. They are being subjected to a campaign of terror by these radical Democrats. There is an insurrectionist movement.
It is, and Pam says to check your Discord, so I did. She says, "Oh boy, I'm going out to eat. Where are we going, Mom? To a brand new Mexican place that just opened up." There are so many of these out there right now of the alligator stuff with the from Alligator Alley. Like I'm here to apply for the job. All kinds of them. It's just it's hilarious what they've been coming up with lately.
Man, I love that Steve Miller guy. He's just straight on, right on the button every time when he's talking. And he's right. The Democrats are Bass is doing what she does, and then blaming Trump.
Yeah, and then Trump comes to their aid. Here, we'll give you money to pay for the riots. Fucking
yeah.
And that just means they're getting a kickback because. Let's be real here. The companies that they hire to clean up after the riots are companies that give kickbacks to all the Democrats.
KTLA or Channel 5 in California, whichever one that is. They were saying that Gavin Newsom tried to offer an olive branch to Donald Trump, and Donald Trump denied it.
Yeah,
I'm like, what?
KTLA is pretty conservative, I think.
It may have been the other one, Channel 7, or it was either 7 or 5.
ABC 7?
NBC, yes, NBC. It was NBC.
NBC, okay. NBC, Newsom, Olive Branch. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll get it or not, but it might.
Let me try ABC.
It was on their today's news, so
it was interesting.
Yeah.
No results. We just
Because they
typed
were
in.
talking about Bass. They were talking about Bass and Newsom, how they're doing such a great job, and Donald Trump's making things terrible.
Okay, so
I
here,
don't know how you.
this is Bloomberg, but that's not what you're looking for. But they're saying the same thing. So Fox,
I'm pretty sure it was NBC.
NBC, okay. Of course,
They can't find it.
everybody else shares it. So of course it's going to take a second to find it.
Yeah, right.
MSNBC, was it MSNBC?
No, it wasn't MSNBC. It was just the NBC channel.
Okay, find it. It'll be here somewhere. It'll be.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny how he's a possibility for a presidential candidate. Oh wait, KTLA Channel 5 is? I haven't watched KTLA Channel 5 in a long time. It might have been KTLA Channel 5 then.
Yeah, I think it was. It's 5 NBC.
I don't know. I forget what KTLA is. I'm not finding it.
There's no worries if you can't find it, because it was just the newscasters talking about they didn't have Bass on there. They didn't have Newsom on there. So
Yeah, who cares about Gavin?
yeah,
he's. You know, it's funny how the whole country makes fun of us in California for our stuff, but then they want to talk about, you know, oh, Newsom's going to be a great president. Newsom this and Newsom that.
yeah, that's what they were saying today. That's what, and he's like the top runner for president of the Democrat Party for 28. La, la, la.
Yeah, it's him. It's not Harris is not up there. AOC, I think, is one of the top runners too. Can you believe that stuff?
I would love to see AOC with Jazzy as vice president. That would just be like going to the titty bar and not having to pay.
Top Democrats for 28 presidency. Let's see who their top ones are. So this is from The Hill. We'll look at what The Hill is. Let's see. Number 1, AOC from New York. No, what would you do if AOC becomes president?
I would love it.
You would love it? Why would you love it?
Yeah, just because. Oh, because no, I'm lying. It'd be horrible.
Oh, that, you know, Sage. Hold on, Sage says he lives in Santa Barbara, just north of LA. I know, Santa Barbara. I actually, I'm from Lompoc, and I actually worked in Goleta. I worked at Applied Magnetics when I was younger. You know, Fairview and Hollister. You got Taco Bell and McDonald's right there. I worked at that. We'd always go there. I know a lot. The Habit came. You guys have the Habit Burger over there in Oklahoma, bro?
No.
They're a big, huge franchise now. But I grew up going to the original one down in Goleta. Oh yeah.
Huh.
Oh yeah. My brother owns a restaurant still in Lompoc. Okay, so there's.
Do you have Slotskis?
No, we don't. No Slotskis here.
Oh wow.
Didn't I try that when I was visiting you?
I think so, didn't you? Yeah, I think I suggested it. I don't know.
Isn't it a sandwich? It's a sandwich place, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, big giant sandwich.
Yeah, we tried them. I remember that now. Yes. Pam says AOC can only count to 4. Okay, so let's see who number 2 is. Josh Shapiro, Pennsylvania governor, is the top runner. Gretchen Whitmer. You don't what?
I'm going to say this. I don't think Josh Shapiro is going to be a Democrat much longer.
Really?
I seriously doubt that Josh Shapiro, because of the rhetoric about his faith, he's Jewish.
Ah, okay.
So that's why I'm thinking he's not going to be a Democrat because of that entire situation.
But you know,
I could be wrong.
I have trouble trusting Democrats who switch to Republican. I'm not gonna lie. They have to earn, like Tulsi Gabbard. I'm still on the fence about her. I'm still, there's still that possibility that she could be a plant.
I totally understand that, Eddie, because to some extent I'm surprised, and we've talked about this on streams before. A lot of people don't think I'm conservative because I will say that I am actually I was a liberal for most of my life. So yeah, I understand that.
Fucking liberal. I don't trust you anymore now. I didn't know that. I don't trust you farther than I can throw you. So look here. Number 4 is Gavin Newsom. He thinks he's gonna win too. He just he's a greasy slime ball. If you ask me. And he knows who I am, and I know who he. And he doesn't. When he sees me come, he does his best to turn the other way. Kamala Harris. That's never gonna happen. That's never gonna.
I don't.
JB.
I think she just needs to stay out of politics.
Yeah.
I seriously doubt she'll even be governor of California.
No. Oh wait, this is former governor or former Chicago mayor. Yeah, I don't think she'll be governor either. Pete Buttigieg. I don't know. He wouldn't be the first gay man as president, though. I'm guessing. I'm sure there's been some in the past.
Openly gay. He'd be the first
Openly.
gay
There
man.
you go. There you go. I guess we lost Graw. He lost his internet again. There was a dull rock in my front yard I would trust more than anyone on the loony left. Hey Sage, do they still cruise? Oh my gosh, why can't I think of the name? There's a street in Santa Barbara that when I was a kid we drive up from Lompoc, and I always cruise up and down State Street. That's what it is, State Street. So check this out. This State Street, it's restaurants during the day, and then at night the restaurants close and they turn into bars. I spent my 21st birthday on State Street. And I remember I'm sitting there and I got so drunk I'm throwing up on State Street. And this guy's like, "Hey, what's wrong with your friend?" And my buddy's like,
"Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids."
Hit the wrong button.
I thought you did.
Button that time.
But my buddy's like, "No, it's his 21st birthday." And then so the guy says, "Oh, then he needs another beer."
He needs another beer.
I got a DUI, or I almost got a DUI on my 21st birthday. But it was my 21st birthday.
Guy, if you want to come back, you're more than welcome.
Oh, gee, thanks. Thanks, AC. We're glad you appreciate it. Yeah, State Street is still popping. Our band just played this past Saturday at 609 State. Nice. Yeah, you cruise up to Hotel California, then you go back down to cruise back down to the theater. Oh my gosh, I forget. So they have a theater in Santa Barbara. Trying to think of I can't think of the name right now, but the whole ceiling is like night sky and stuff like that, and it holds like 1,000 people. And when the Star Wars #1, the prequel stuff came out, I watched it there at this theater, and it was just amazing. The movie wasn't great, but just everybody cheering and oh my gosh, what is the name of the theater? Trying to think of it. State Street Theater. Sage is probably going to tell me before I even look it up. It starts with a G or something like that, right? No, A. It starts with an A. Isn't it an A? Anyways, but this theater was badass. State Street was a different place back in the day when I was down there. Like in front of Borders, you had this old there was this old black dude that would sit in front of the Borders on State Street, and he would just sit there and play his guitar and sing every single day in front of the Borders down there. I'm trying to remember that guy's name. Grandma just closed for remodeling. It's yeah. What is it called? Famous. Let's see. Well, that's why. Santa Barbara. And AC, if you ever want to go to the Arlington Theater, that's what it was. The Arlington Theater. If you ever want to, so if you go on State Street we have what's called Fiesta every year. You know, Cinco de Mayo week, and Fitzgerald is an Irish bar there, and Michael Jordan is best friends with the owner. At least I don't know if it's still the same owner, and so Michael Jordan every year for I forget what I just called it, but he would always go to Fitzgerald's, and he'd be a bartender for the night. It was pretty cool. I saw his head, but I never got close to him. Dude, I miss Santa Barbara and Lompoc. We got the pier there. Santa Barbara is pretty fun. If you guys have never been to Santa Barbara, you can go there. You can go to Hotel California in Santa Barbara. It's down by the Amtrak station. Hotel California. Or it's called the California Hotel, I think is what it's called, really. The California Hotel.
That is that, but thank you, Sage. I have a lot of good people around me, and one of them's the man that's doing this stream. I do appreciate Eddie and all the work he puts into doing this show. He does a wonderful job, and
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's just called Hotel California. It's right on State Street. It's what, maybe like a quarter of a mile from the Amtrak station. Santa Barbara is fun though. Do you remember Hotspot's 24-hour coffee shop? I don't. My brother was manager of all the Taco Bells in Santa Barbara. So he did the Taco Bell in there. He worked at the one on Fairview, which is in Goleta. He worked at the one, oh my gosh, what's on the east side, the little Mexican place. Thank you, Sage Pop. Yeah, AC's pretty cool. He's cool sometimes. East, what is it? The east side what's the little Mexican? I should text my brother. What is the little east side area Mexican place? It's not even about 200 feet from the Amtrak. Yeah. I got a tattoo right across from there. My very first tattoo was this one. And the guy I got it from is now a famous tattoo artist for Hollywood. Freddie Negrete. Rosie's Cafe. What is this? What's the street though? Oh my gosh. What's the other famous street where you can go get good Mexican food and stuff? Like it's on the east side. Santa Barbara. What the heck is the name of that street? I'm trying to think. My brother used to work there, and they got some good Mexican restaurants. Sage Pup will be like, I know exactly. Yeah, Milpas Street. Yeah, Milpas was it? But there's another street. Milpas was good. Anyways, I loved going and hanging out in Santa Barbara. There's so much stuff you can do there. It's pretty cool, and the Mission in Santa Barbara is really cool. Yeah, it's Milpas Street, I think. Back there it is, Milpas. My brother worked at the. See, look, it even says it right here, Taco Bell Milpas. That's the one my brother worked at too. But then I'm gonna bring up. So here's something else Sage probably knows: the Elephant Bar. The Elephant Bar is this restaurant and bar, right? And you can sit in the bar and you can watch the airplanes landing at the Santa Barbara airport. And so I worked on Hollister, a block or so down, and I worked at this place called Applied Magnetics, and we worked in a clean room. And so in the clean room, you got to wear clean room suits, right? And I worked a weekend night shift, so we could go out. We had an hour-long break. We worked from 5 o'clock at night to 5 o'clock in the morning, and you got paid for 12 hours, including your lunch. So we go to the Elephant Bar on the weekends, and we get drunk as hell at the Elephant Bar, and we go back to work, and we never got caught because you have to wear full mask. and our boss hated putting on his clean room suit, so he would just look through the window and talk to us through the window. Oh, that was fun. Elephant bar, and then we go down. Sometimes we do I lose AC or is he just listening? No, AC's just listening.
No, I'm listening. I'm listening.
So then also, since we work weekend night shift, you got paid more for working weekend night shift, and we would go down to UCSB. It's a little town called Isla Vista, right? So they called it IV, but back in those days we called it HIV because everybody had HIV, pretty much, because the kids just never used condoms and it was bad. But we would always go to this burrito place, Farolitos Burritos, and it's now actually a another big one restaurant. Fun days. You're bringing back memories of when I used to hang out in Santa Barbara. Anyways, what Panda? What? All right, let's see what else is going on X. Anything else crazy going on today other than the Epstein list and Elephant Bar is gone now. Sucks. What else happened today?
Compliments that what is did that say compliments that are actually insults?
Where?
The one that you went off of.
Wait, I gotta go back and find it.
One up. It was up.
The complaint.
Keep going up a little bit. I'm actually watching.
Yeah, you're waiting. Oh, compliments that are actually insults. You look better when you have makeup on.
That would be an insult. That would really be an insult.
You were security in IV during the summer, so Sage knows all about HIV. Oh my god! And so at UCSB, when I was a kid, they had a wheelchair camp for kids like me that were disabled and couldn't compete in normal sports. Well, our wheelchair camp was at the same time they had a cheerleading camp on Story Road. It's right on the you have to go down Story Road. Every day our bus would take us by the dormitories of HIV, and all these cheerleaders would be out there. And me and this other guy, we were really good at track. And if you've ever seen, we have wheelchairs made specifically for track. They're 3-wheeled wheelchairs, and you can haul ass in them if they're really strong. And we were. So whenever we get a chance, we sneak off in our racing wheelchairs and go down to the cheerleaders camp and go talk to all the cheerleaders down there. This is a way of dating too. You put down a girl to make them think that they're lower than they are. Just making comments like this. You're actually pretty, but you look better with your makeup on. It's little ways. What do they call those things? Subliminal messages. That's it. Subliminal message. Holy Jesus, 9:00 already? Wow. I was only gonna do an hour today. Who's this beauty? Say hello to Scott Ruskin, the American hero who saved 165 campers in the Texas floods on his first mission with the Coast Guard. That's awesome.
Nicely done, young man.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
They always make fun of the Coast Guard, saying they're not a real, but they do. They look at them up in Alaska and all the stuff they do up there too. Yeah, IV filled with
I make fun of. I will be honest. I make fun of them, but I know they do a hard job that most of us will never be able to do.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna give it to this young man because he's put his life at risk for those campers. So good job, young man.
Yeah. What the heck, mass? I don't know why you can't say the S word on why you can't say shooting on X. What happened to free speech? Mass shooting last night in Philadelphia's Grays Ferry neighborhood, captured on a ring cam. Holy sheep shit. Where I grew up in Lompoc and where I live now, we don't lock our doors. I don't have to. But most cities you do. It's just insane growing up in a place where you didn't have to lock your doors and now you do. Although
I grew up out in my cousin took over the farm when I got into high school because my parents couldn't actually keep the farm. So when I got to high school, they sold it to my cousin. And my cousin says they still don't lock their doors. The
Right.
closest neighbor they have is a mile and a half down the road.
Oh, wow. And see, so where I live now, I'm up in the middle of the mountains, right? And we got dogs. Like Panda has no leash. She can go wherever the hell she wants. Donnie, I have to keep on a leash because he likes to go across the river to go see the female dog over there. But it's just crazy, you know. When I lived in Madera, I lived in a bad neighborhood. But when I got married, she had 2 dogs and I had 2 dogs, and one was an Akita. And then her dad got a German Shepherd Rottweiler mix. And once we moved into the house that we bought, we couldn't separate the dogs. So we also had a German Shepherd Rottweiler mix. And one night there was a break-in next door. And so I see the cops, you know, looking into my backyard. And I was like, "Do you guys want to come check my backyard?" And they're like, "No, sir. We know you're the dog. You're the dog house we heard." And I was like, "Huh?" He's like, "Trust me, nobody's getting into your backyard with all those dogs you got." I never locked my door. The first thing my wife did when she came home was lock all the doors. I'm like, "Why the fuck you locking all the doors? Somebody's gonna break in." Although I did have a man on meth one day just walk right into my house. It was interesting. Sage says, right, I grew up in Tennessee. We all had picket pocket knives and gun racks in our trucks. Yeah, remember when you used to have a gun rack in your truck?
Yes.
I think they still do that up in Alaska.
Hey, down here in Alabama, we still do it.
Do you?
You'll actually see gun racks in the back of a truck window.
Nice.
So yes, this is an everyday occurrence for me, where I live out in the middle of nowhere.
And one things my stepdad always taught me is never go anywhere without your pocket knife. A man has a pocket knife, and you always got to have traveling money because you never know when you're going to need that little bit of cash.
Exactly.
Who still hides $100 bill in their wallet? I do.
I don't do 100. I do 50. I'll do a 50.
That's because you're a cheapskate.
Oh, kiss my ass, Eddie.
No, thank you. Bill, what are they talking about Bill Barr now? So Tulsi Gabbard set the gold standard for classified disclosures when she released the JFK docs. Virtually zero redactions, tons of information, an attempt to rebuild trust with the American people. Yeah, now we got nothing on the client Epstein list. Ooh, look at this woman riding that horse. Hello. Nothing like a woman who could ride a horse like that.
But in my honest opinion, I don't think we'll ever find out the clients, because I think in all actuality, it would bring the entire system down. It would bring everything down. We would have anarchy in the streets, in my honest opinion. I think it goes that deep.
There's a lot of possibilities out there. It could be that. It just could be so many. There's just too many people on there. You know, too many famous people. I think there's people on the list. You know, in the business world, everybody owes everybody some kind of a favor. It might not be because of a bad thing, right? But maybe somebody helped President Trump do something, you know, get a building approved or get something done, and they're holding it against them, you know, because they're on the list. That might be a possibility. I don't know. There's so many possibilities that could happen. I definitely want to look into it for sure.
And Eddie, I will say this: why don't we? Because I've wanted to do a show with you. Why don't we team up and do that? Look into what we can find out about that client list. Just the two of us.
We could do that.
And then we can share it on both of our platforms, because I know a way, if we're using your Rumble Studio, that I can actually stream it to my channel without because of the RTMP that Rumble has, we can do everything. We can do it on both channels at the same time.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. I mean, there's got to be a way. There's definitely got to be a way. Sorry,
But that would be there would be some interesting streams. And would we want it to tend it to YouTube, or would it just be on here and on X?
Let's just do Rumble and X. Fuck YouTube.
All right.
I don't like YouTube. I'm on there. I'm on there now, you know. But what? I've been kicked off of YouTube so many times. It's not even funny. Not even funny. And they still look. I cannot log into my Eddie Block Films channel. Right. They refuse to let me log into it, but they still have it up, and they're still putting commercials on my videos. Watch. Let's see.
They're making money off of off of you.
They are. You can go to my channel right now. Oops, that's the wrong one. I've been kicked out of this one too, though. And you can watch one of my videos, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna have commercials on it. Like the commercial one. Let's see. To this channel anymore? Nope. That one doesn't have a. Oh, because that's recent. Let me. Mexican. When I went to the Mexican bar. What's that? Well, I know they put commercials on my stuff. Let's go to, let's say, Last Man at the Capitol. This one should have a commercial.
Thank you for the $2. That'll help maybe.
I don't know. I know they have commercials on my shit though, but they won't let me log in. If you haven't been kicked off of YouTube, you're not part of the. I used to have 25,000 subscribers on YouTube, and now I'm down to like 7.8. Crazy time. But yeah. Oh my gosh, you know what? I think we're gonna go to bed now. It's pretty late. I gotta get up early in the morning and do some work around the property. All these 4 acres, I gotta do stuff, and building my new tiny home out of a shipping container. Oh.
And guys, and this is from me to all of you watching, and I know most of you guys have been with Eddie for a very long time, longer than I have. Let's support this man because he deserves it. He does do a wonderful job with the stuff that he shows, with all the information that he shows. I don't say it for very many people, but for Eddie, I will say it. He deserves to be to have more than 314 people on this channel right now on Rumble.
Yeah.
So please share him out, get him up, get him more than I have. Get him above the 1,500 that I have, almost 1,600 now. Get him up past me because he deserves it. He's that good at doing this. So, and I don't say that for many creators on Rumble or on YouTube. So, but I will say it about Eddie.
Well, thank you. And look, Boris just showed up, my buddy from Alaska. Says we should be protesting this weekend and tell Trump both Cash and Bondi have lied and we want all 3 fired. But patriots won't protest the feds after January 6th. Of course not. It's too scary. I mean, look what happened to me. I was there January 6th. The police, the FBI raided my house, took every piece of electronics out of my property. All the news calls me a racist white supremacist. Then I have to go testify for my buddies in court in D.C. And the prosecution calls my lawyer and says, well, you know, if we can't guarantee we won't arrest Eddie if he shows up in court, but if he does, he might get arrested. It's not a direct threat, but it was a threat, you know? And shit, to get out of the January 6th committee, I had to pay my attorney like $6,000. I spent like $20,000 in attorney fees, which I didn't have. I had to use a lot of my credit cards up for this stuff. So of course people are afraid to protest Boris. But Boris up there in Alaska, he goes and messes with them. Soda says, "Thank you, Mr. Eddie and gang. Y'all rock. We got to do this more often." Oh, I do it every night at 6:00 California time here, for the most part. Next time you come to Santa Barbara, we got to hang out. Heck yeah. I come every September 16th or September 19th because my dad's birthday, and I go to the Lompoc Cemetery. So that's just a guaranteed time I come every year. We'll definitely hang out. Well, you can meet Donald J. Trump, the service dog. What's up, Boris? How's it going up there in Alaska right now? In fact, I'm surprised. Did you text me?
How's your Boris? I have to ask this: has it reached the 22 hours of daylight yet?
It's not July. It's close. It's close. In Anchorage, I think when I was in Anchorage, the sun would go down, or like at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it never went all the way down, but it would get dark, and then, well, let's see. In the wintertime, I knew at 11 o'clock the sun would start going down, and you'd be at work. You're like, holy shit, yes, it's time to go home. It feels quick. Then you look at your watch, and you're like, son of a bitch, it's only 11 in the morning. It's crazy. Crazy. Yeah, Boris says mass calls for Bondi to step down. Trump, Truth, Cash, and Bondino are doing a good job, which people didn't like, but he did leave Bondi out of it. Abolish the FBI. We can't trust them no matter who's in power. I agree. It's crazy. I've missed a lot of text messages so far. But yeah, I gotta cook myself some dinner. And thanks, AC. AC is a good dude too. I make fun of him a lot, but he you know, he's like me. He's done some bad things in the past, but he does good on showing the news and keeping it truthful. So Boris says summer solstice has passed. The days are getting shorter now. Oh, okay. So the days are getting shorter.
Letting me know that.
And I'll, I don't know if you've heard this story, but everybody else has heard this story. So when I was working up in Anchorage, I was building the Marriott downtown. I was a plumber, and I woke up in the middle of the night and I looked out and it was bright outside. I was like, "Holy shit, my alarm didn't go off." So I'm just rushing. I throw my clothes on and I start running towards work, towards downtown Anchorage. And I didn't, I'm just worried about being late to work, right? I'm not looking around at what's really going on. I was just like, I was half asleep and like, holy shit. So I ran down there. It took me about 10 minutes and I get to work and I'm like, where the fuck is everybody? So that's when I look at my watch and I'm like, we got rumbled. Sorry, we got rumbled, folks. So anyway, so I'm running down to work and I wasn't paying enough attention out there. And I didn't realize that nobody was on the streets. And I get there and I look at my watch and I'm like, holy shit, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I had woke up in the middle of the night, and because it was pretty much daylight outside, I thought I was late for work and went to work. So I'm sure plenty of other people have done that. Yeah, Pamela Jesus, see you again soon, Sage Rock. Thank you. Yeah, it was cool. All of the Jeff Mack people coming over was cool. I got another campaign. No way. You can only get, that's right. You can only get 3 in a day. I did one though when Jeff Mack's people came over and I had like 60 people in here. I got a pretty good reading for that one.
That's good.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I love about Rumble, the creators on here. We all try to help one another.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Yeah, and Jeff Mack's a cool dude and stuff. So I should go check him out. Jeff Mack. I remember because he used to share my videos when I was with the Proud Boys and we were out in DC or wherever we were. He used to show our videos off a lot. So, all right, everybody, have a good night. I'm gonna go eat some food. I'll maybe play a little poker. Who the heck knows? But we'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific, and AC does his daily show. Pam put the link out earlier, so.
I do my daily show normally at 4 Eastern, but on Mondays I do it early because there is so much that I have to do, but I go somewhere Monday nights. But you guys can catch me. Thank to Jeff Mack. Thank you for rating one of the best guys on Rumble, and share him out. Get him some people because he deserves it. So Eddie, keep up the great work. I'm getting off of here.
And hey, real quick, I got a question. So what is it like going to the gay bar every Monday night?
Fuck you. And fuck the horse you rode in on.
All right. Good night. Thanks, Pam. I'm so glad Pam is home safe too. So catch y'all tomorrow. We'll be around and have a good night, you guys. Enjoy life as much as you can.